owns the Gridiron Glory Alumni football football program in the Hayes alumni team. Last year we played this game with Lake Travis, and this year they weren't able to get enough people together as they are still in the playoffs. So it's a really busy time for them. So we want to thank Hayes for stepping up to come play this game with us tonight. We couldn't make this happen without you. So thanks to everyone that came together and helped pull off this event. Thank you so much.
And a pleasant good evening. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery here for the Gridiron Glory Alumni football game.
And continue to celebrate.
And we're going to leave it with the PA here tonight.
Had on us all. But by doing what he would have us do, by gathering at an athletic event and giving our all, both on and off the field, with clear eyes and with full hearts. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Hayes Rebels Alumni football team. I'm sure the Rebels will be joining us momentarily. Your Dripping Springs Tigers alumni football team is getting prepared to start. And with that, we're going to tee up our national anthem. So please stand.
I'd also like to thank Ryan Bonnet and his family and everyone that helped him put this together. Ryan, you're awesome, and I know you've worked hard for 2 years for this event. Thank you so much.
All right, folks, now we're ready for the anthem. Please stand. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as Brian Wilkes leads us in tonight's invocation.
Would you pray with me, please? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy great and matchless name. God, we honor you as the Lord of all creation, and we thank you for the many blessings of life. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beautiful day that you've given us and for all the blessings of living in this great nation. We thank you for all the freedoms we enjoy in this country. And Father, we are mindful of all of our servicemen and women who sacrifice so much as they fight to keep us free. Lord, we ask your blessings on them and their families. And we pray also for all of those who work to keep us safe here at home. We ask that you will watch over our police, our fire, our EMS personnel. And Father, help us to always show them the respect and the gratitude that they deserve. Dear God, we ask you that you will be with all of our players here tonight. We pray that you will keep them safe, give them the strength to play to the best of their abilities. And Father, we pray that you'll help us all to be kind and respectful to each other as we enjoy this friendly competition. God, we ask your continued blessings on the Tuck family. Pray that you'll give them strength and encouragement each day. And most of all, Lord, we thank you for your Son and our Savior, Jesus. And it is through his name we pray. Amen.
And welcome here to the Gridiron Glory Alumni football game. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. I almost said Matt Leishman. I'm used to broadcasting with my buddy Matt Leishman. What a beautiful night it is, Brad. Thanks for coming down from Austin, Texas here in beautiful Dripping Springs as the sun set just moments ago. And we're going to have a great night tonight of alumni football. These guys get to get out back on the field and relive some of their glory days, man. And trust me, it's competitive, though.
Yeah, I'm expecting a fun, competitive game tonight. As we heard in the announcements here, Hays County was able to step in with their alumni team. Usually this is a Dripping Springs versus Lake Travis style game. Lake Travis being in the playoffs, causing a few complications to get the alumni out. So going to get a nice little local game here with a Hays County rivalry. Hays County, Dripping Springs going at it, so it should be fun. And it's all for a great cause tonight, too, with Keith Tuck Fund and Memorial Fund going on. Absolutely.
I was going to mention this is benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial, and also some of those funds go to the Brittany Tuck Memorial as well. They're memorial funds that were set up for scholarships. Coach Tuck was a coach at Lake Travis and also here at Dripping Springs, and so what a great way to honor him tonight and keep his legacy alive, as well as his daughters. And they're wonderful folks here at Gridiron Glory. They just do a great job in what they do in giving back to the communities that they serve in. We also wanted to take a quick moment tonight and just, again, thank everybody out there for listening in.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and also
are approaching center field
the San Marcos Hays County EMS that serves Dripping Springs has partnered with Hays and Dripping alumni teams to support the Tuck Scholarship Fund by donating their services for tonight's competition directly to benefit that of the Tuck Fund. So again, thank you to the San Marcos Hays County EMS for donating their services tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody coming together for a great cause tonight. It's a little chilly, a little windy, but you know what? A perfect night for some pads popping and some football on a Saturday evening. Got the high school playoffs going last night. Tonight, little high school glory days going on as the teams are down there for the coin flip. And looks like the entire Hays team came down. I don't know if they're shaking hands or razzing folks down there at the same time as they're doing the coin flip. It is a beautiful night, though. There's a nice little sunset off in the background over the horizon, a kind of a golden hue on the right where the mounds of the hill country start. Dark blue above that as we go in nighttime here. Just a gorgeous November evening for football here in Dripping Springs. And folks still filing in down towards our right, as you can see. So good night for football.
Absolutely. And again, Brad, I just wanted to say one more time thank you for coming here tonight to Tiger Stadium is where we're broadcasting from here in Dripping Springs. And again, the Hays Rebels coming in here tonight in this alumni game. And we did want to say one more time a huge thanks to George Cox and Gridiron Glory Football for everything that they do. And man, they're just helping these guys get out here, and not only are they giving back to the community through the funds going to some of these scholarships and memorial funds, but also helping out these guys relive the yesteryears.
Absolutely. Get out there, have a little fun. Remember, we're playing full high school rules tonight. 12-minute quarters, full rules as in full referees, everything out here just like a standard high school game. Nothing different besides maybe the age of the players, but that's about it. And even that, you got guys who have been staying in shape out here ready to play. They got support in the stands, so it's going to be a fun night. We're just waiting on the Rebels to take a picture across the way, and then once they do, we're going to be set to go, as it looks like Dripping Springs will be getting the ball first here this evening. Photo happening now. But yeah, full high school rules tonight. About the only difference you'll see between tonight and a normal high school game is the halftime shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a chance to talk to.
We also got a note up here. We want to say happy birthday to Jackson Blevins, who is probably here tonight. We're going to listen in the broadcast later on, I'm sure. Get the live show here tonight. Go back, pull it up later on the link, and then you can see it once again. hear our lovely voices.
Absolutely. And right now, Dripping Springs, of course, in their traditional Dripping Springs colors. No uniform changes here tonight in their maroon with gold numbering and black pants with gold stripes down them. Hayes comes out in the regular Hayes Rebels colors, all white pants and white jerseys with blue numbering and also black helmets. So going to be an easy one as far as seeing the numbers tonight, but it's going to take us a little bit to get acquainted with who's out there.
Absolutely. And you'll notice, too, you got to remember, this is an alumni game. Guys are kind of doing this on their own dollar as well. So you're going to see helmets of different colors on each team. You see a few silver helmets out there for Dripping Springs, a few darker helmets. Same things for Hayes. You got some blue helmets, you got some black helmets, you got some white helmets. But we all know who's playing for who. And, again, it's all for a great time here tonight and a great cause as well with the Keep Tuck Fund.
Absolutely. It looks like set back to receive for Dripping Springs as number 11, Bryce Alarms, as well as number 2, John Dillaway. So we're just about to get things underway here. Thanks for joining us tonight here on Gridiron Glory Football. And boy, we have got an awesome alumni game. And it's cold outside, a brisk 52 degrees. At least that's what it was earlier, Brad.
You got to wonder how the bones are going to be cracking a little bit tonight with the chill in the air. So.
Absolutely. It's actually 48 degrees now, but a factor tonight, we don't have them in the stadium here, but that wind is blowing at 18 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So
that's down from what it's been all day around the area today. It's been in 30, 40 miles an hour all around the area today.
Looks like set to kick off here for the Hayes Rebels is number 4.
Josh Schwartz.
Josh Schwartz is going to be out there. He is a 1994 alumni of Hayes High School. So year my sister graduated. Man, that gives me hope, knowing if these guys are still. I graduated in 02. I put on about 40 pounds.
So why isn't she out there cheerleading then, right? That's what we need.
You know, I actually went to an alumni game several years ago, and there actually was some cheerleaders out there, and they were out there reliving their days too, man. So it's nice all around.
Looks like Josh is down there fixing his helmet around as we get set to play ball.
So just waiting to get things underway tonight. Dripping Springs, some of the helmets are different colors for Dripping Springs. There's some silver helmets, and then there's some maroon helmets out there. And so it's not going to play too much of a factor for us tonight, though.
Let's look for the jerseys. We got the dark jerseys and the white jerseys. Be the easiest thing to tell. But, yeah, should be a fun tonight. A fun game tonight, competitive game. And look at this. Josh is going to barefoot kick this thing on a 45-degree night.
Come on, man. And Hayes is going to be kicking off here from right to left. Of course, you can see it there on the video at the 40-yard line. Once again, set back to receive is Bryce Alarms as well as John Dillaway for the Dripping Springs. The kick is up and away. A nice booming kick going to fall around the 10-yard lines. Picked up, I believe, by Alarms. Still on his feet, crossing around the 15. And he's finally going to be brought down. They're going to give him forward progress, Brad. It looks like up to the 13, maybe 14-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. Nice play out there on the coverage by Paul Brown, class of 2014. So one of the youngsters out there playing ball, just graduated about a year and a half ago. And there you see him getting down the field, using that speed to make the tackle inside the 20.
And here in just a moment, we're actually going to be able to tell you who the quarterback is once we see him out there for the first time tonight and trying to look for that lead in the huddle. I can see him down there. There's a couple of numbers covering him up right now. And we'll get that here in a minute for you.
Now, during warm-ups, you saw both teams kind of out there practicing plays. They were actually working on from the I formation seemingly on both of them. So doubt you're going to see much spread. Maybe a little more classic I formation type football. Maybe a little option ball here and there as well tonight.
I believe it's a 1995 alum, Ryan Bonnet, is going to be quarterback tonight. And I'll double-check that here in a moment. And he's going to hand off to his back, still on his feet, diving around, and maybe picks up a yard or maybe no gain. That was Clark Hanley for the Dripping Springs Tigers.
Tell you what, Fred Lyons, number 71 down there, really blew up the play in the middle, right over the nose tackle position, got the offensive lineman back 2 or 3 yards, and it forced the running back to maybe take a cut he didn't want to take, and it really allowed the rest of the defense to get in there on the tackle.
It's going to bring up second down here.
It's like 2nd and 12.
As Bonnet lines up under center. You know, normally we're so used to the high school level seeing quarterbacks in shotgun, but tonight we're going to see a lot of this in the I formation as well. The nice pitch back out to his man is Hanley. Hanley's trying to find a hole, able to pick up some positive yards, about a 2-yard gain up to the 15-yard line. And that was actually, I beg your pardon, it was Cameron Pierce on the carry.
Oh, with the tackle. Cameron
With
Pierce
the tackle.
A couple of rebels in on the stop, number 34, Garrett Miles.
And Bryce Alarms comes back onto the field now alongside Corey Williams. And Adam Rawson coming in there for the first time tonight.
We got a player down on the field. Hopefully nothing major going on.
And on a cold night like tonight, you know, and these guys, some of these guys, you know, they've been working hard to get out here and play these games. There's some prep work to go. Now, some of the guys, they just show up and play. They really do. But then there's other games and where guys really take this to heart, and most of them out on the field do. They take it to heart. They want to get out here and play and relive some of those days, but it's competitive.
They're going to play hard. They're going to definitely get out here and work and block and do everything they can to win tonight for sure. But, you know, one thing that you can't say is that if you're not out here playing every week like these young high school guys that are out here every week and they're practicing every day, and then, you know, you go to work 9 to 5 and during the week come out here and play a game, it takes your body a little longer maybe to get into the game, and you wonder how and those hits can maybe take a little more on you, especially on a cold night like tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're still down there working on the Dripping Springs player. Hopefully he's going to be all right. Both teams are kind of heading back to the sidelines now.
Yeah.
And he's down there moving, which is a good sign. He just probably got shook up pretty rough.
Looks like Adam Rossing is down there attending to him. Still can't tell quite who's down, but
Cameron Pierce also there for the Hayes Rebels down there with him. So unfortunately not the way that you want things to start out here.
Yeah, only a minute and 10 seconds to go in the game, or rather into the ball game. It'll be a third down and what, about 7 or 8 coming up once we get back to play. But really, first and foremost, has to be our thoughts with the injured player down. You know, you never want to see anybody get hurt in any game at any level. But I mean, especially on a night like tonight, where it's everybody's out here for a good time. You're here for a charity, and you're raising money for the right reasons, and you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
And we're just patiently waiting here. The injured Dripping Springs player is down on the field. He is moving, but he's still on his back, and everyone's down there attending to him. And George Cox also makes his way down there with the player. Covered a few of these alumni games in years past. Most recently was down in Granger a while back, and saw some minor injuries down there. Nothing too critical, but again, you talk about a lot of these guys, they haven't been out and played. Some of them haven't played contact football in a long time, but
yeah.
But these guys are a lot of them are in pretty decent shape
as
far as their health, and or they wouldn't be out there playing. I know I couldn't get out there and play, man.
No, I mean, you got to get out there and you got to be in shape to play, absolutely. And we know that these guys stay in shape and continue working. And now looks like they're calling for medical personnel, and somebody just jumped the rail. So I'm assuming we have somebody here in the stands who can maybe be able to help out. But you know, you can't simulate those game hits, you know, and these guys are going full speed. We talked about it already. They're trying hard. They want to win. They're all playing hard out here tonight. And no matter what, you can't simulate that, even if you're out working out and staying in shape. And if you play these games a couple of times a year as opposed to, you know, every week when you're at the high school level playing every week, you know, it gets a little harder to bounce back from.
Absolutely.
Definitely not the way we want to start a game tonight, though.
Nope, not at all.
You'll have to forgive us, folks, for maybe being a little quiet here and there right now, but out of respect for the player, we definitely don't want to just jabber on about everything.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick moment here and step back. We'll be back as soon as gameplay is in action. You're listening to the alumni football of Dripping Springs and the Hayes Rebels here. The injured player for Dripping Springs is being tended to by EMS. He did appear to be moving his arms and everything, so they are going to take him out here on a stretcher. Out of respect for the player, that's why we've been remaining quiet. So as soon as gameplay gets back into action, Brad Tillery and myself will be right back. We're back here at Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Thank you for your patience. As an injured Dripping Springs player, the medical staff just wanted to make sure they were taking the appropriate precautions and stabilize the young man. And our thoughts and prayers are with him, and hopefully everything will be okay. You know, sports, it's tough, Brad, because there's always a chance that you can get injured in sports, especially football, and just unfortunate here within the first minute of play or so. Yeah. That a young man was injured from Dripping Springs. But again, we did notice he was moving his arms. That's a good sign.
Gave a wave to the crowd.
Gave a wave on his way out. So
good stuff there, and definitely the good thing is that we have EMS on hand. You know, we talked about that earlier, which is a great donation from the Hays County. And you know, if there was ever a time to have that kind of donation and that kind of goodness come out of folks to really help out in a game like this, right now is the time.
Absolutely. Well, again, welcome back here to the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery, just about to get set back underway here. Again tonight, benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial funds that are used for scholarships. Keith Tuck was a coach at Lake Travis and here in Dripping Springs, and just a great way to honor him tonight through this alumni football game. Looks like things, Brad, here about to get back underway. It is third down, and again, there's not a yard marker out there as far as on the scoreboard. There is one down on the sidelines tonight.
It's about 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. I'm going to depend on you tonight to help me with that. You know, our job's to be an analyst, but sometimes it's a little tough whenever we don't have the scoreboard support down there. But it's all good, man. Here we go, folks. 3rd down. Dripping Springs lines up, 2 receivers up top and down to the right. And the quarterback again is Bonnet, in shotgun this time, has a back behind him. Steps back, he passes in the flats, out to his intended receiver. And he fumbles the ball around the 20-yard line, and Hays indicating that they picked it up here, Brad.
I think they did. It sure looked like it was Cameron Pierce there forcing the fumble, and he might have been the one to jump on it as well.
Not sure who the player was there for Dripping Springs. It's number 3.
Yeah, that's not on the roster.
That one is not on the roster. So Hays is going to take over on downs here. We're scoreless, 10:29 to go in the first quarter. And this is the first time we've seen Hays tonight in excellent field position. After a nice takeaway there, Dripping Springs unfortunately turned it over. Again, Lake Travis was supposed to be here tonight, but they're still in the playoffs, and so very nice for Hays to step up here.
Absolutely.
So Hays here again, 1st down and 10. Starting out, moving from right to left. In shotgun, man in motion, 2 receivers to either side. This time, the quarterback steps back, throws a deep pass in the corner, has a man wide open, touchdown Hays. And what a nice first play there. A nice pass out of the hands of Mataguino. And, man, just a beautiful pass over to the side there in the corner, Brad.
Yep.
His intended receiver was Peyton Pringle.
Yeah, Pringle got really on a fly route down the sideline, able to get down there, make the grab pretty easily. I mean, just had to turn around, and it fell right into his hands. So a nice, easy catch, and first play of the game for Hays as far as the offense goes. And, well, you get a touchdown. It's a nice way to start.
Quick 6-0 lead here, 10:22 to go in the first quarter.
All right, now here comes my man. It's Corey Williams, the barefoot kicker.
Here we go, and he's barefoot out there. And, in fact, you know, maybe the folks at home can kind of see that there a little bit. It's a little hard to zoom in and see. But, yeah, out there for the point after attempt, the kick's up and away. It's low there and no good. And after Hays recovers a fumble.
There's a flag down, though.
There's a flag down.
I think we might get a little roughing the kicker action here.
Got some laundry on the field, folks. We've got a penalty.
The PA here talking about laundry on the field. Waiting to see what the call is.
Yeah.
The officials are telling one of the Hays players to step back off the field. It's quarterback Ryan Bonnet.
Yeah, the Dripping Springs player is telling him to get his helmet on and to get off the field there.
So it was a roughing the kicker, Brad. And the point after attempt again will be.
Get another crack at it.
Crack at it here is your man. You called it. Barefoot.
There's no way I could do this on this kind of a cold night, man. It's like the guys used to see kicking snow up north, the barefoot back in the day.
Point after attempt again. This one is
blocked.
PAT attempt.
And
that could be
Drip
run
picks
back
it
for
up.
points.
Drip tossing it up. It looked like a forward lateral pass, and they fall back down on it. Nice effort there by Dripping Springs. And after an exchange of possessions here, Hayes scores on the first play of their first possession tonight after recovering a fumble from the 20-yard line. They lead this one 6-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here tonight.
Hayes 6.
Welcome back here to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. Hayes Rebels versus the Dripping Springs Tigers. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery, and we're happy to be here tonight with SHN Sports, being able to bring this one to folks out there.
Yeah, 6-0 your score right now. Hayes scoring on their only play of the game after a turnover deep in their own territory. Dripping Springs fumbling on a pass at about the 20-25 yard line. Hayes immediately able to turn around and score a Peyton Pringle touchdown catch in the corner of the end zone. An extra point block, but 6-0, only a minute and 35 seconds into the game.
Is it going to be a scoring frenzy tonight? We're yet to find out. Well, your man here, Schwartz, getting ready to kick off again with that barefoot from the 40. Of course, moving from right to left here. And Dripping Springs set back to receive. The kick is up and away. Nice kick here off the barefoot down around the 10-yard line. Dripping Springs has it, crossing over the 20. On the far side, still on his feet across the 30. Finally going to be brought down out of bounds.
Is returned by number 11, Bryce Alarms.
And a nice return there
Bryce Alarms.
by Bryce Alarms.
The running back for Dripping Springs getting out there and showing some moves as he got outside the numbers there.
Absolutely. Well, Drip here is going to try to answer the call back as they turned it over last time on a third down play. And Hayes able to capitalize immediately and score. 10-16 to go in the first quarter. The Hayes Rebels lead here 6-0.
Correction, 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
As you just heard the PA say here, it's 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line. So Hayes has their work, or Dripping Springs, I beg your pardon, has their work cut out for them here. Set back in shotgun. Two receivers to either side. For Dripping Springs. Calls for it. The snap back, looking to pass here. Looking in the flats, and he's going to fumble a football. And no, they're going to say that he did attempt to throw the ball, so it will be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, you could tell there that Bonnet was looking for a little quick bubble screen out here to the near side. They were trying to set it up, couldn't get it out in time. Looked like Hayes was able to really read that quickly, blow it up before the play could be made. So he just kind of threw it out of his hands to make sure he got it away and saved it down and saved the yardage.
That was a good job there by Bonnet, exactly, of not turning over that ball, just threw it, and incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 2nd down here and 10 from the 29-yard line. Things moving a little slowly here tonight. We don't even have a game clock that runs here, at least from what we can tell. The officials may be keeping time down there.
Oh, there's 10:09 up on the board up there. So
there's a game clock, I beg your pardon, but not a play clock. So here we go, folks. Bonnet back in shotgun. Two receivers to either side. Now a man in motion. And that pitch back is to that man in motion. It's Corey Williams, and Corey Williams trying to fight his way down. And still rolling around, and he's going to be brought down. Looks to be back to the
out to number 2, John Delaway.
Original line of scrimmage, and I beg your pardon, that was John Delaway.
Brought down by number 71, Fred Lyons, and number 31, Anthony Ramirez.
So, man, I might as well just turn it up and let the PA call it tonight, brother.
Tell you what, Delaway's a big guy down there. Lyons for the Rebels, class of 2007. He's number 71. He's down there in the white helmet, playing the tackle position on defense, and he chased that ball down from the tackle position outside the numbers on a fly sweep. So really a nice job there by the defensive lineman getting out there.
Exactly. Well, big 3rd down here for Dripping Springs on the near side of the 29-yard line. It's 3rd down and 10. Quarterback in shotgun. Two receivers stacked up down to the right. Quarterback steps back, passes left side in the flats, has a man, still trying to dodge around. It's John Delaway again, and Delaway's going to be brought down. They're going to give him forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage. So the Hayes defense playing phenomenal here on the opening set, Brad.
Yeah, really flying to the ball. Nice job. Looks like Dripping Springs not able to get anything down the field just yet. Everything's been laterally and trying to stretch the defense, but nothing vertical.
And so Dripping Springs here should punt the ball. They're down at the 29-yard line. Not sure yet who the punter is. Hey, I've got a little trivia for you. We've got an alumni that's out there that can teach us all a lesson. What year did he graduate?
I'm going to say, is it Jackson Blevins from 1981?
Jackson Blevins from 1981. And, man, I'll tell you what, that right there gives everyone hope. Jackson's out there playing tonight, and it's good to have him out there on the field.
Jackson's your punter right now.
He's actually the punter. That's correct.
Got a penalty against Dripping.
There is a penalty.
Substitution.
Illegal substitution by Dripping Springs there. And so you hear some crowd telling them to let him play. Well, hey, they're trying to keep the rules going here, Brad.
Yeah, you got to play by the rules. If you don't play by the rules, it's just anarchy out there, right?
So the punter is Jackson Blevins. It's pretty fun that we just announced him just a moment ago. Set back to receive around the 40-yard line for Dripping Springs is number 32. That's a nice punt. It's it's Hayes Chad Miles. And that ball is going to fall out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
About 47 is where it bounced out. Kind of landed at the 45, checked back up to the 47, but looks like we might have a penalty on the play, too.
It's going to be 1st and 10 Hayes.
See the referee out there making a motion. But I didn't see a flag come. Oh, there is a flag, actually, on the near side down here.
Yeah, it's way back there.
On about the 25-yard line, and Dripping Springs might have an option here.
Let's sort something out here first. We've got a penalty, looks like, against Hayes on the punt.
All right. Offsides on on Hayes is the call. They're going to decline it and take the yardage on the punt, though.
Against the Rebels.
Man, things always take a little while to get flowing at these alumni games, but once they do, there's a lot of fun, a lot of jitterbug going on. You know, jitterbug, man, my grandma used to do the jitterbug. I didn't even know what that was, and she told me. So Hayes here takes over.
That's the only thing I could ever do was the Charleston. So.
Yeah. Hayes takes over here on their own 49-yard line. Quarterback is Matt Iguano. 2 receivers to either side and a running back behind him. Man in motion is Javier Moore, and there's going to be a false start. That'll set him back 5.
False start, 5-yard penalty against
Like a couple of members on the left side of the line of scrimmage there on the O-line moved at the same time. Left guard and left tackle. You got to wonder, you know, certainly our thoughts still with the player who was injured. We never got his number, but you got to also wonder how long that delay did. If these guys got out here, they warmed up, they're a minute into the game, and now they probably sat around for 20, 25 minutes. Their body's cooling back down, and now they got to go play again. It's
going to be 1st down and 15. Now back to the 44-yard line. That's what Iguano's going to have to work for Hayes. Lines up in the same formation, 2 to either side, and it appears that there may be another false start on the play. Waiting to see what the call is here. And it is. It's going to be another false start. It's going to bring up 1st down and 20 now.
He's going to back him up.
So Hayes on this possession really hurting themselves after they came out of the gates after that nice defensive recovery on the fumble at the 20-yard line. They're able to throw it in the end zone in the corner near side, score the touchdown. But now, Brad, hurting themselves. It's 1st down and 20 all the way back to the 39-yard line.
They've only run one play from scrimmage so far this game.
And Guano lines up in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Has a running back behind him. In motion is Javier Moore. This time, the high snap, the pass in the flats to his intended receiver on the far side, dancing around, still on his feet, and picks up a few of those yards back. They're going to call him down.
Brian Marshall looked like he was the man with the catch out there.
Looks like they may have marked him at the 44-yard line. Actually, 43-yard line is where they've got him down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and long here.
About 16 left to go, so about a 4-yard pickup on the last play there.
That clock continuing to tick down here, 6:40 in the opening quarter. Hayes leading 6-0. They have the ball here, but it's 2nd down and long. And Guano in shotgun, 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers to either side.
Josh Schwartz coming on the field late at the top of the formation.
In motion is Mark Hernandez. This time, pitches back. And that ball went into the hands of Clayvon Highwit.
They called that an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's weird. It looked like it was a pitch back, but
sure did.
the officials even had a little bit of a break tonight for a few minutes. Everybody's got to get warmed up, man. It's
Brings it out to
it's kind of hard keeping up with the action here. What's going on right now, Brad?
I'll tell you, if they did call that a forward pass, I'm not sure that it was a legal forward pass because the hands were under the ball on the pitch. So even if so, if it's a forward pass, I don't know how it would be because you could throw it low from your body, but your hand has to be on top of the ball, much like a shovel pass would be.
Well, it's going to be 3rd down and long here from the 42-yard line. As Iguano is back in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Steps back, passes, far side, deep pass, way overthrown, almost intercepted by a Dripping Springs defender there. I believe that was number 11, Bryce Alarms, playing Iron Man tonight on both sides of the field, Brad.
Yeah, really nice defensive play. Ball was just slightly overthrown there for Paul Brown. Couldn't get up to it. And, Alarms has a little bit of a height advantage there, too, on that play. So the ball overthrown, able to get his hand up on it with the jump and nearly brought it down.
And it's going to be 4th down here, and it looks like Hayes has stepped back to punt the ball away.
Some late substitutions here for the Rebels.
And punting the ball for the Hayes Rebels. Can't get the number yet.
Looks like Robert Willis, number 8.
Might be a high. Nice snap there. The punt's up and away. That one's going to go short. High punt, but very short. And it's going to fall down around the 40. Takes a nice Hayes Rebels bounce. Still rolling down to the 25-yard line. Still on its way, and it looks like it's going to be stopped around the 22-yard line. And so Dripping Springs is going to have their work cut out for them. Nice job on the defense, but really that time, Brad, it was the Hayes Rebels hurting themselves in those false start penalties.
10 yards back on the false starts. The missed play out there on the wide receiver where the ball was overthrown. And my apologies, that was Jason Villarreal with the punt there for Hayes. I was looking at the wrong roster, but yeah, really, Hayes shot themselves in the foot a couple of times there on that drive. And they had good field position to start. Remember, they started that at their own 49-yard line.
So Iguano comes back here as quarterback. I believe it's Iguano out there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong roster, man.
I just did the same thing.
It's Ryan Bonnet coming out there as quarterback for Dripping Springs, and they're going to start here. Looks like they actually marked the ball
right about the 20.
Right at the 20. Originally, it looked around the 23, but it is at the 20-yard line.
Which the ball kind of went straight up in the air, but, after you net out the punt there, that's a solid 40-yard punt.
Absolutely. Well, Iguano here lines up. 1st down for Dripping Springs, trying to answer the call. And he was under center early. And I'm sorry, it's Bonnet. We'll get it straight here in a little bit. It's Bonnet under center. 2 receivers to either side. Bonnet, the pitch back to his man. It's Bryce Alarms, and Alarms trying to get around the side. He's drilled on the near side, and he's going to lose a few yards on that. Looks like about a 3-yard loss on that one, Brad, down to the – they're going to call that down to the 16, maybe 17-yard line.
Yeah, the punter Villarreal getting out there, laying the smack down on the sideline there. Yeah, solid loss of 3-4 yards there on the stretch out.
It's going to be 2nd down and 13 here for Dripping Springs. So they're trying to get some offensive rhythm in, and so far it's been a little bit tough tonight. This Hayes defense is playing pretty stingy. Dripping Springs has not been able to get around them on the near or far side tonight.
Yeah, Hayes looks like very on defense specifically. They put a lot of speed on the defensive side of the ball. They're moving quick to the ball everywhere, and they're getting a push up the middle a lot too, which is forcing the ball outside. It's not allowing Dripping Springs to move the ball up the middle with the run game.
So it is 2nd down and 13 here. 4:20 to go. Hayes leading this one 6-0. And Bonnet back under center again. 2 receivers to either side. This time the pitch back into the hands of Alarms again. Alarms trying to find on the far side. And again, not able to get ahead. A 10-yard run, but on the sideline. So no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And he may have even lost a couple on that one, Brad.
Looks like he did. And it looked like Chad Miles was out there to make the tackle on the other side. But yeah, another lost couple of yards. And now you got 3rd and long. 3rd about 14 coming up for Dripping Springs. And if they can't go wide, you got to think Dripping Springs at some point is going to start throwing the ball vertically down the field to force the Hayes defense off the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're still in the huddle here. The clock ticking, 3:30, still running. Again, Hayes has the lead, 6-0. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Thanks for joining us here tonight on Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. We're glad you joined us. It's fun to get out here and relive the glory days.
You got a pretty packed formation here for 3rd and long. Only 2 wide in the formation.
2 out this time. Bonnet steps back, hands off again to Alarms, and Alarms trying to slice and dice his way down, picks up some positive yardage. About up to the 25-yard line. The side judge is standing at the 24. That is where he brought it up to.
But even so, that's a nice run by Alarms. It's the first time they've really run at the defense in this game. So far, everything's been wide, wide, wide. That when they line up in an I formation, tight formation, only 2 wides, get an extra tight end in there. Boom, you go up the middle behind the fullback, and you get a nice 7-8 yard pickup.
Well, Jackson Belvin's here, set to punt for Dripping Springs. The action's going to be going from left to right and back to receive for the Hayes Rebels is number 32, Chad Miles. He's around the half-century mark. The ball's on the near hash mark. Fumbles around. The kick is finally up and away, the punt. Nice punt after initial fumble, and it's going to be downed. Dripping Springs actually touched it. And they're just going to let it kind of roll, even though he initially touched it farther. They're going to mark it right down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, you think that if somebody from Hayes had kind of been alert there, they could have picked it up or fallen on it, because that ball's live. As soon as it's touched there at the 45 by the Dripping Springs player, that ball is live. You could fall on it. It's your football at that point.
Absolutely. And now they move the ball up to the correct location where it was initially touched. It's at the 47-yard line of Dripping Springs. So Hayes already in Dripping Springs territory to start their opening drive here. As Anguano tries to lead his team to another score. Lines up on their center, 2 backs behind him. This time the pitch out to his back, on his feet. Nice run around the near side and finally dives down as tackled. That was Billy Gandy, 2010 alumni of Hayes. And he picks up 1 on the play after all that running, Brad.
Yeah, he went wide. A really good, little good shifty move there by Gandy, but on the pitch play coming outside, and that's a play where probably 1 more block, and it's 5-10 yards down the field.
Absolutely. Well, the clock now at 1:30. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 on the play. They haven't adjusted it there on the sideline yet. It is 2nd down and 9. And Hayes breaks out of their huddle, comes up here. The ball is on the near hash mark. No receivers out. All backs here behind
Big formation.
Anguano. The handoff to his back. It's Clavon Highwit, and he picks up maybe a yard on the play.
Handoff to number 7, Clavon Highwit.
Down to the 45-yard line.
That was a big formation. You had 7 guys across the line of scrimmage, 8 guys actually across the line of scrimmage, and then 3 in the backfield. You had actually 4 in the backfield, excuse me. So 7 across the scrimmage, and then 4 in the backfield, including the quarterback. Pretty much a run play the entire way unless you sneak a tight end out.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 8, Brad, here. Finally, we see some receivers spread out, 2 to either side. Anguano in shotgun. And now a flag. Is this going to be a false start?
I don't see anybody move unless they're calling a substitution penalty here.
We'll see.
Substitution on Dripping Springs is what they're calling here.
So that's going to benefit Hayes.
An illegal substitution penalty on the Tigers is going to help the Rebels.
And that's going to move the ball up. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 here, Brad.
Yeah, much more manageable, and this opens up the playbook. If you want to run the ball, you can here. Of course, a little bubble screen pass. You don't have to go as vertical down the field.
Well, Hayes still lines up. The Rebels in the same offense. And Guano steps back, looking, passing, throws a dagger. It's almost intercepted. Great job there by Robert Bowers, the defensive back for Dripping Springs. And after the ball falls incomplete, it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he had Brian Marshall for a split second coming on a little cut route on the inside, little skinny post. And nice job there by the defender just to get a hand on it in the window.
You know, it's no man's land right here, and it's an alumni game. Do you go for it?
Oh, absolutely, you go for it.
I mean, we're allowed to have players running across the field over here on the backside. So you know it's an alumni game when you see that. It's fun, man. I wish I had the energy to get down there and play in one of these games. It would be a lot of fun. But it does look like Hayes is actually going to line up to punt here.
We're going to play field position here. And now a timeout looks like it's being called.
And set back to receive is Dripping Springs. I believe that's number 21. There's a timeout on the field, though. But Darren Witt is set back to receive. Again, Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Thank you for joining us for Gridiron Glory Alumni Football tonight here on the SHN Sports Broadcast Network. A big thanks to our friends at Gridiron Glory, beg your pardon. And it's been a fun one so far. Had an injury early, and again, we hope that player was okay. They did get him out. He was moving, so that was a nice sign to see that. But
yeah, the EMS truck no longer here, so probably on the way to receive some medical attention.
And again, this is benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial, also some of the funds to the Brittany Tuck Memorial funds for scholarships. We thank you for joining us here tonight. A big thanks also to Mr. George Cox for putting together Gridiron Glory and all the fantastic work that he does, not just here in Central Texas, but, man, all across the Lone Star State.
Yeah, it's a great chance for these guys to get out here, play some ball. As we've been saying all night, it's a chance to relive the glory days a little bit, but at the same time, keep that camaraderie going. You all play for the same school. You have these old rivalries that are around, and it's more community involvement, too. And the more communities get together and be involved with many different things, it's a great opportunity.
Well, the temperatures dropped another degrees. The wind has dropped down. It's 47 degrees here on the field at Tiger Stadium in Dripping Springs. The wind at 13 miles an hour. Back in action here.
They're going to go for this.
They're going for it on 4th down. They changed the game plan as Nguano lines up. This time the handoff back to his big man. It's Hanley. And Hanley dives forward, but he's going to be short by about 2 on the play. He does get the ball down to the 39-yard line, and that's where Dripping Springs is going to take over on downs. I think that's a good call here. It's an alumni game. You're kind of in no man's land anyways in that part of the field. Good call, but unfortunately just wasn't able to penetrate through the defense.
No. And a nice job by Dripping Springs to rally to the ball there. But, yeah, you got to go for it in that kind of game, right? In this game where you're just out here having some fun, sure, you're out here trying your hardest, but you want to have some fun, too, and go for it. And unless it's an obvious situation to punt, nobody wants to punt. It's like Madden, right? You don't want to punt if you don't absolutely have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that'll be the end of the first quarter there, Rob.
So at the end of the first quarter, the Hayes Rebels, after they scored on their first play of the drive from the 20-yard line, they had 20 to go, but they lead this one 6-0. We'll be right back as you're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. Welcome back here to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football on SHN Sports. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery back in action as as Hayes went for it on 4th down. They weren't able to convert. It is the beginning of the second quarter here. The ball is going to be on the 39-yard line as Dripping Springs has a ways to go from right to left. And we'll see if they can get back out here on the field and do some with the ball. It's Ryan Bonnet still at quarterback. Lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. And he's actually going to step under. He's under center, I beg your pardon. 2 backs behind him. Bonnet gets it. And this time he's going to pass. Deep pass down the center part of the field and a one-handed grab. Wow, what a catch right there. And I believe that was Chase Harper coming down, the 2008 alum. An unbelievable catch. He leaped up like Jerry Rice and pulled that bad boy down.
Yeah, just put the big old paw out there at the last second and was able to grab it as he was getting hit. But a very nice play over the middle, a little play action toss there. Made the linebackers bite a little bit, and you get the play down the middle for a nice little gain there of about, 16, 17 yards.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fun one to go back and watch on the video a little bit later. Man, that was unbelievable. So Drip here trying to get some momentum.
We can send it to the Sports Center tonight.
Yeah, no joke. Francis comes out here as one of the receivers down on the left side. On the far side is another receiver. Back up under center is Bonnet. 2 backs behind him. Bonnet, the pitch out to his back. It's Alarms, and Alarms falls down, and he's going to lose big yardage, about a 6-yard loss on that play, Brad.
I'll tell you what, he had nowhere to go on that play, though. It's kind of almost fallen down to save yourself a little bit. He had 4 or 5 guys all in white jerseys around him, and just the blocking missing out on its duties there for Dripping Springs, and it pushes them back about 6 yards there.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a big 2nd down and 16 for Dripping Springs. So they had a little bit of momentum, and now this one's going to set them back. They're going to try to fight through it here, but so far it's been a great defensive game on both sides of the ball, minus the opening score from Hayes. Dripping Springs, everybody was kind of just sitting around for a few minutes waiting there and being respectful of the injured player, but they got back out, and I think they're starting to get warmed up. Here we go. 2nd down and about 16. Bonnet lines up under center, 2 receivers to either side. Has 2 backs lined up behind him. Calling for it, now gets the snap. This time he's going to pass. Looks again, deep pass down the center field around the 30, and That one was in and out of the reach, not close to his intended receiver there for Dripping Springs.
For number 1, Webb
Looked like he was going after Chase White, or correction, sorry, Webb Roush.
Yeah, Webb Roush not able to come up with it.
And now we have an injured Hayes player down.
And luckily gets back on his feet pretty quick as his teammates help him up.
Yeah, it was the man in coverage there.
Hops back up
Chase White, and hopefully Chase is okay.
It's going to bring up a big 3rd down and about 16 here. Actually, it's about 3rd and 16, right on the money. At the 50-yard line is where the ball sits as Bryce Alarms comes off the field. And Dripping Springs still in huddle. The ball is going to be on the near side hash mark. We'll see what they call here, Brad. Looks like it's going to be a pass as Bonnet is in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Has his back behind him. The pitch back. A pass in the flats. That one way off. Just not able to, wonder if the cold plays a part. That was intended for number 1, Webb Roush.
Yeah, a little bubble screen try out there to the far side. And ball just kind of came out of his hand wrong. It looked like completely there for Bonnet.
It's kind of a bummer drive for Dripping Springs as they had that big pass down that got them into Hayes Rebel territory, and then unfortunately were set back 6 yards as Alarms had nowhere to go with it. I believe it was Alarms on that one.
But in a defensive game like this too, now a chance to play some field position. You got the ball at the 50. If nothing else, you flipped it. Maybe get a 30, 40-yard punt here, and you can force Hayes to have to go way down the field to make anything happen.
Jackson Blevins set to punt yet again here tonight. From right to left, the snap, and actually it's going to be a fake. Blevins throws a dart, and boy, he had him open. It was Bryce Alarms open on the left side, and incomplete. Man, that would have been incredible.
I'll tell you what, Alarms just kind of stopped running there. He had the ball, it was right there, and it was a really nice throw. Now, he was going to get led into a little bit of a hit, but if he makes the catch, it's a first down.
Brought it a good point. If he gets led into that hit, that may be one reason why he may have slowed his step a little bit.
Tell you what, though, the class of '81 man can sling it down the field there.
He's teaching these young men a lesson. Well, Hayes is going to take over on downs here. The ball just slightly in their territory, about an inch away from that half-century mark at the 50-yard line. They're going to be moving from left to right. Going off the field for the Hayes Rebels is number 7, Clavon Highwit. We've seen him out there a few times tonight. We'll see what Nguano has here for the Hayes Rebels. Lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Has one back behind him. The snap back looking. He's going to pass. Throws a deep pass over to the 40-yard line. It's caught. Still on his feet is the intended receiver across the 30-yard line. A nice catch and grab there by the receiver, Peyton Pringle. And Pringle goes out of bounds, Brad, around the 30-yard line.
His second catch. He also caught the touchdown earlier. A nice job there of getting the ball, making a quick turn out to the sideline, using his quickness. And a really second big play by Pringle. Both big plays tonight been by that connection.
And it is going to be first down from the 30-yard line for Hayes. Nguano lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers up top, 2 down to the right. A high snap, and Nguano's going to try to fall back on it. Unfortunately, it bounces around, still on it. It looks like Dripping Springs has recovered the ball at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, just a bad snap that came high, and Dripping Springs able to fall on it.
Yeah, and Robert Bowers, number 33, the class of 2002. That's my class, brother. Comes up with that ball, it looked like, from here. And a great job by the Dripping Springs Tigers. Big Abel Martinez down there in the mix as well, another 2002 alum.
Tell you, I don't know if you noticed, too, but we were talking about the punter in the class. That was 1981 man, Jackson Blevins. He's been playing safety that last drive as well. So out there playing defense, kind of do it all for the man from 81.
Another Iron Man out there on the field. 7:20 to go. The clock ticking down. Hayes Rebels leading 6-0, but Dripping Springs just recovered a fumble.
Yeah, here's a chance for Dripping Springs to maybe set that running game up. We've been talking about how in the first quarter they're trying to go wide most of the day, and their best run, actually, I formation, right up the middle, pretty much over the left guard, and they were able to get 6, 7, 8 yards. You might want to see that a little more out of Dripping Springs.
Bonnet lines up here in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the right, 2 down to the left. And now a man in motion, it's John Delaway. The fake handoff, a deep pass across the left side. He's got his receiver open, and in and out of the hands, no good. And a nice run there and a nice look to Justin Francis, the 97 alum. It does fall incomplete, though, Brad.
Yeah, and threw it in the double coverage there. You could see they were trying to get some motion on the fly sweep fake, but it didn't really fool the Hayes defense. And I know I keep coming back to the point, I'd like to see these guys really line up and play that I formation, run football right at them. It'll get you in the game a little bit more, get the flow of the game going for you on offense.
That's almost old school football now whenever you look at high school teams, the way they run the spread offense. But I agree, we'll see what happens here. The ball's on the far hash mark at the 40-yard line of the Hayes Rebels. Dripping Springs has it. Same formation here as many other ones. Ryan Bonnet in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Has his back behind him, offset to the left.
It's like Terrell Williams in the backfield.
And he's going to pass here. Bonnet, deep pass on the right side, and that one's underthrown, incomplete. You got to wonder, too, if the wind is playing a factor in some of these passes.
Yeah, you would think it is because it's been windy around here all day today. It's starting to die down. You can tell if you look out at the treetops a little bit, but it's cold, too. And the colder it is, if you've never held a cold football, it's slippery. Footballs are slippery in any way. It gets chilly, the ball just slips off the hand, and if you're not used to throwing it every day and every week in this kind of weather especially, it's even harder to get out there and do.
It's going to be a big 3rd down here for the Dripping Springs Tigers, and Bonnet comes off the field here. So we're going to see who stepped in here at quarterback. I believe it's 3rd down. It should be.
Yeah, it is.
So Bonnet steps off the field, and in at quarterback here for the first time tonight is number 17. That's going to be Jeff Tuck out there. And Tuck in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. High snap, gets it, steps back, looking, scanning. Deep pass down the left side of the field. And in and out of the hands. Boy, what a nice one there to number 3. And Hayes Rebels, number 32, Chad Miles, had a hand on it as well.
3 miles.
But, man, what an arm right there by the quarterback.
We'd give you the name on the receiver, but unfortunately there's no number 3 on the roster for you. So the only reason we have to say that is because number 3. But we do have another injury down on the field, and hopefully everybody's going to be okay. But, yeah, really nice arm strength there. You can see a little more velocity on the ball there from Tuck, and a good job of getting the ball out, plenty of time, 30, 40 yards down the field on a cold night, just kind of in the double coverage, and a really nice play there defensively for Hayes.
Well, 5:34 to go here in the opening half. Thanks again for listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on the SHNSports.com broadcast network. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery, and Hayes holding on to that 6-point lead. And there is an injured Dripping Springs Tigers player down on the field. He is moving his arms, and the EMS originally came out with the stretcher, but they roll it back off. He may have just got hit pretty hard here and just has a stinger.
Yeah, it looks like they're waving him off. The guys on the field are waving him off a little bit here.
Man, I'll tell you, Brad, I admire these guys because I'll get out there. I was joking around with you. This is the first time I ran since April, honestly, because I've had some surgeries, brother. And I was out of breath just walking from my car about 100 feet over here to the bottom of the stands, man.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't get out here and do this consistently. It would be painful on me for sure.
So the Dripping Springs player here, Brad, good news, he gets up, and it's Tyrell Williamson, I believe.
It is. He was the running back on that play. He's kind of walking off a little gingerly. Hopefully he'll be all right.
And it is 4th down here. And the punt team makes their kicking unit makes their way out. The punt unit makes their way out onto the field for Dripping Springs. Seen a lot of punts tonight, and a lot coming off the toe of the 1981 alum, Mr. Jackson Blevins. On the far side. We saw him play quarterback a while ago too, Brad.
Yeah, he had the last time they out here punting, they ran the fake, and he actually threw a dart. The ball just kind of fell incomplete. The receiver stopped his route a bit, but Blevins has had 1 punt. It's gone 30, 40 yards, and see how this one goes. But there's going to be movement on the line of scrimmage there.
No, it's not going to go too much here on this try. It is going to be a false start. Set back to receive for the Hayes Rebels. I believe it's number 35. Well, there isn't even a number 35 here.
I think that's 32 back
32 back there, it looks like. And if it is,
that's Chad Miles.
Chad Miles, he's been back there a couple of times tonight. And I also believe he's joined by Cameron Pierce on the far side. And it is. The ball goes to Pierce, and it's going to let it settle out of bounds. Nice punt. It's going to fall out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Out of bounds.
And they're actually going to mark it up a couple from that to the 33-yard line. So Hayes Rebels going to try to get some more points here on the board with 4:57 to go in the second quarter.
Well, if you're Hayes, I think what you got to do is go back to what's worked, and that's been the connection to Peyton Pringle on the outside. You know, they've had couple of 20-yard passes to him. One of them resulted in a touchdown. The other a little 10-yard out. They turned into 10 more after the catch. Maybe you go back to that. You know, he looks like he's got some quickness to him. And if you spread that defense out, force the focus there, then you can come back inside with a run.
So the Hayes Rebels still in huddle here. They're going to take over here with their possession on the 33-yard line. First down and 10. And Guano lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side.
It's like Billy Gandy in the backfield with him.
Calling for it. Now he hands off. Delayed handoff to Gandy. Gandy still on his feet, running around. And picks up a few on the play, down to
Billy Gandy.
Boy, they're going to call him down around the 36-yard line?
Yeah, about 36, 37. Dripping Springs thought for a second they had a fumble. They were making the motion after the tackle, but Gandy was down with contact there. So a nice run on the draw play.
Not bad at all, Brad, down to the 37-yard line.
Rebs looking at 2nd and a long 6.
So it is going to be a 2nd and 6 here as the huddle breaks for the Hayes Rebels. And Guano comes back, still in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the left, 2 down to the right. Has his back behind him. Calls for it. He's going to pass. Steps back, looks, scans. Now far side pass. Has a man open. And that one was just short. Boy, it looked like it was going to sail right down there. I believe it was Javier Moore. And you got to wonder if, did the wind put the brakes on that? Because that ball was just flying down there, Brad. And then all of a sudden, right before it got there, it just fell.
Yeah, and it was thrown in the right spot, though, too. Even though it did fall, Xavier Moore was running down the sideline there, and he had beaten his cornerback, but the safety was coming over the top. So where the ball fell, if Xavier Moore is able to stop and make that catch, he's there in the perfect spot. But if he keeps running, that ball fars out further and leads him, he might get popped on the sideline.
Big 3rd down here for the Hayes Rebels. And Guano in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Has his back behind him. The pitch back, and it's going to be another delayed handoff, and he was down by his knee, and also the Dripping Springs Tigers stopped him. A good try there by Clark Hanley, or beg your pardon, by Billy Gandy. But Dripping Springs defense comes up big again here with 3:11 to go. Hayes still leading 6-0.
Well, Wandell Rutledge not fooled on that one. I know they ran it 2 plays ago. He got a nice little gain on it that time, but then this time Rutledge just standing there waiting for the play on the draw play and sniffed it out pretty quickly.
Dripping Springs set back to receive this punt here. It's going to be Corey Williams on the near side, alongside Bryce Alarms. And so just waiting for it here. And the punt is up, and that one's really short. That's going to go about 10 yards or so, and then it takes a Dripping Springs bounce, and actually it just kind of stops there. It's kind of funny. You saw Jackson Blevins run up to it.
It's going to net out to about a 9-yard punt.
Yeah, only down to the 42-yard line. So Dripping Springs in excellent field position here to start out their next drive with 2:27 to go at the Hayes Rebels 42-yard line. And we got to see who's if Bonnet is back in at quarterback or if it's Jeff Tuck.
No, it's going to be Tuck. Bonnet's down here on the sidelines with his helmet in his hand, so it looks like Tuck will be back in there for another drive.
Absolutely. So it is Tuck here. Tuck lines up for the Dripping Springs Tigers. 2 receivers down to the left, 2 up top to the right, and has a running back offset to his right. I believe that may be a pass over to the left side. Nice catch there by number 3. He had Darren Witt offset as his running back there, Brad, and a nice pickup.
Took the snap at quarterback.
Yeah, really nice play there, and that's what you'd like to see a little more of in the passing game from really each of these teams. Shorter, high percentage completions. A lot of downfield stuff so far tonight, but not much of the 6-7 yard routes. And there you saw one, and it's a nice first down play.
It's actually 2nd down. He got a few on it. Steps back as Tuck passes, deep pass on the near side, down, has a man, in and out of the hands to number 3. What a pass, and man, we have seen an arm on Jeff Tuck.
Yeah, really nice throw down there by Tuck. It was there, and looks like the defender for Dripping Springs is a little slow to get up, but he's going to be okay. But yeah, great throw by Tuck. Number 3 was there for the catch, and the ball just kind of hung up just slightly at the end and allowed the defenders to get back there.
It's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 7, I believe, for the Dripping Springs Tigers. 1:30 to go. Hayes holding on to that 6-0 lead, but Dripping Springs trying to score down here. We're live from Dripping Springs at Tiger Stadium. The ball's on the near side. Tuck still in at quarterback. He's in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the right, 2 down to the left. And he has Darren Whitoff set at his back. It's going to be a pass. Steps back, looks, throws, dart down to the right side over the hands of Webb Roush. Incomplete.
Yeah, just a little too tall for Roush there. But again, you know, that's a play that you'd like to see second down when they're in that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 situation a second ago. A chance to make those high percentage throws as we've been talking about and get easy yardage. That's what you're looking for. 6, 7 yards, break a tackle. We've already seen one play earlier from Pringle where you got a nice little 8, 9 yard catch, broke a tackle, turned it to 20. I think there's opportunities for each team to keep going that route and maybe only try the deep ball once or twice a quarter.
High school girls volleyball team won the state championship tonight.
PA here just made an announcement about the Dripping Springs Lady Volleyball making the, well, if it's ladies volleyball, I don't think they have boys volleyball in high school. But they won the state championship tonight. What a great job there by the Tigers. They're in the same district as Georgetown, so we got to call a game as Dripping Springs came into town. A while I called for the Georgetown Eagles just up the road about an hour or so. And, man, it's just fun being a part of these sport programs and high school sports and the alumni games. Man, it's just so awesome, especially this organization here with George Cox and Gridiron Glory just giving back to folks.
No, it's been terrific. Of course, tonight we're all out here for a chance to raise some money for scholarship fund. And it's a chance, for, like we talked about already, for the community to give back and get involved, and folks from around the area to continue to have some fun with some old rivalries, too. And they're going to go for it here on 4th down, it looks like, Rob.
Big 4th down, 1:18 to go. And Jeff Tuck in at quarterback. Triplets this time up to the right. Tuck rolls to the right, passes, looking down the field, and bounces right off the number there of John Dellaway. I believe it was John Dellaway.
Yeah, it was Dellaway. He had it in his hands. A defender got his hand there just before the ball did, but Dellaway definitely had a chance to make the catch, but the ball hit right off the chest. Didn't catch it with his hands and tried to get it into his body and off the pads.
He had a chance at a great defensive play.
Man, we have just seen an arm on Tuck. I know I keep talking about it, but he has just been throwing darts.
Really nice, too. A little mobility there, rolling to his right, moving the pocket, not helping out a little bit the offensive line. But you know the rush is coming, and, yeah, a nice throw and just a missed opportunity for the Tigers.
You saw Tuck down on the sidelines alongside John Dellaway, kind of giving each other a little slap and saying, man, we'll connect to you here in a little bit, as also Tuck puts his arm around Ryan Bonnet. So Hayes here back in action, steps back, passes on the left side. It's almost intercepted. That could have been a pick 6 as Webb Roush bounces right off his number.
Yeah, Roush was off to the races had he made that grab, because there was nothing but him and painted numerals between himself and the goal line.
Coming off the field for Hayes Rebels is Clayton Highwood. Again, we've called his name a couple of times here tonight. And Iguano still in here at quarterback, lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the left, 2 down to the right. Mark Hernandez, I believe, is one of those receivers down to the right. Or actually, it's Brian Marshall. And this time the handoff, it's
handoff to number 12, Billy Gandy.
Into Billy Gandy's arms, and he picks up a couple on the play down to the 40-yard line, actually in between the 40 and the 41.
It looks like Hayes might be comfortable to go to the half here, about 20 seconds to go. The clock was actually running. They're doing a running clock after every spot of the ball here in the second quarter. So one shot to the end zone here, but that'd be about it.
Yeah, and Hayes looked initially like they were going to try to get this off, and now there is going to be a timeout on the field by the Hayes Rebels. So they are, Brad, they're going to try to get one more play off here before the end of the first half with 7 seconds to go. They lead this one 6-0, but they do want to try to get a few more on the board if they can.
Yeah, defensive first half here for both teams. You know, you really got to think some of the injuries, the long layoff right at the beginning of the game kind of affected the guys mentally, but also physically. You know, you go out there, you've warmed up for an hour or so, your body's loose, you're ready to go, and then there's a 20-30 minute delay while you attend to an injured player, and that delay can really stiffen the body up, and you might just now be getting loose at this point in the game, late in the second quarter again.
Well, here we go. Will Hayes throw a bomb down and try to put some more points on the board, or will the Dripping Springs Tigers be able to stop it? The snap back. Looking, scanning, passing, down the center of the field, and it's short There's still going to be 2 seconds on the clock. It's going to bring up a 4th down for the Hayes Rebels here.
Now they've got to snap it fast. Running clock as soon as the ball is spotted here, so which is they've been doing the entire drive. So you either have to take a timeout if you have one or snap the ball immediately.
And do they know that it's a running clock?
I don't know, but that's what I've been seeing the entire drive.
And there goes the ref calling for it to run. He made the motion. The official made the motion down there with his hands to run the clock, but
they might give him one more snap here.
I guess they did give him one more. So, and Guano lines up here. 2 receivers up top. Tighter formation this time. 2 receivers up top to the left. Steps back, and he's just going to take a knee. And at the end of the first half, the Hayes Rebels lead the Dripping Springs Tigers 6-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. Welcome back here to the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery as the Hayes Rebels head into the locker room. They take a knee, and they have a 6-0 lead. The point after attempt was missed by the barefoot man. And it's been a fun one here so far. We did have an injury to start this ball game, and our thoughts and prayers are with that injured player. But overall, it's been a fun one here tonight. And Brad, so far, man, what have you seen out there on the field?
You know, it's been some good action so far. We saw the one long touchdown pass, but you know, I think what you might see some adjustment-wise, again, we've been talking about the whole first half, is quick passes and a little more I formation, pounded up the middle of football in the run game. The wide runs for both teams have really been snuffed out pretty much the entire night. So it's when that's not working, what do? You stay between the tackles, compact the game a little bit, and maybe try that. And I'll tell you what, it should open up some play action down the field, too, for both teams.
And the only score of this ball game was after Hayes recovered a fumble by the Dripping Springs Tigers on the 20-yard line. The Hayes Rebels come back as Nguano throws a pass, and I believe it was number 84, Peyton Pringle, there on the near side in the corner of the end zone. It was a 20-yard pass, and that's the only score of the game right now, is that one touchdown. Both defenses have been playing pretty good here to start out. Well, very good if you look at the score, 6-0.
Yeah, so some quickness on the defense, I think, is what you're seeing too. It looks like the defenses might be a step ahead of the offenses here tonight as we've been going. But overall, you know, it's been a solidly played game. There's been a few stretches where maybe penalties have affected the game. You know, you had that one possession for Hayes where the Rebels were pushed back to 1st and 20 because of back-to-back false starts. But overall, a really well-played game. It's been a fun game and a clean game. You know, you just, for the guys who've been injured so far, you hope the best for them. But otherwise, it's been a nice night here at the stadium.
Yeah, and even more impressive is seeing guys out there like the 1981 alum, man, doing a fantastic job out there. Jackson Blevins, we saw some some highlights from him earlier, man. Just punting the ball and then also throwing a dart. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be a receiver, was on the receiving end of that. But, man, just what an arm out there. And these quarterbacks tonight, we've seen it too on Dripping Springs End with Jeff Tuck. Ryan Bonnet played a couple series out there early on. Jeff Tuck came in and just overall, man, it's just fun seeing these guys getting back out here, playing the game that they love. And some of these alumni games get pretty competitive. So far tonight, we've seen a lot of competition, but we've also seen a lot of just really great sportsmanship on the field, and that's what you want to see in these types of games, Brad.
Yeah, and you got two schools that aren't too far from each other, so it definitely helps out too. A lot of these guys, I'm sure, work together. They know each other. They've been around each other for a long time, and that allows that camaraderie to keep going.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes here to go until the start of the third quarter. Again, the Hayes Rebels lead this one 6-0. And we're just going to keep things moving right along. It's 47 degrees outside. The wind has died down to around 13 now, and we've seen some things a little bit early on that have caused a few problems as far as the weather. Brad talked about earlier when that pigskin is cold, if you're not used to holding it, there's some things that you got to kind of worry about. So we'll see what the second half has in store here, and also see if Dripping Springs can come back and put some points on the board.
Sorry. We know we're here too for the Keith Tuck Memorial Alumni Game. It's the second annual game here down in Dripping Springs. And his wife earlier tonight gave a very nice speech. We were actually able to, if you listen to the beginning of the game, we had it over the PA, so you're able to hear everything. But, Keith was a guy who coached here in Dripping Springs. He coached at Lake Travis. Last year, those two teams played against each other in this alumni game. They were going to play again tonight, but Lake Travis have some conflicts due to the high school football playoffs. So Hayes County was able to step in and play. But, Keith unfortunately lost his life a few years ago, and his family, I think you could hear in the words of his wife that how much he meant to the community, how much he meant to the family, and what he was able to do here, and the impact he was able to make. And so, the one reminder she said is, remember, there's not always a guaranteed tomorrow. So love like crazy, kind of the singer Lee Bryce would sing. But this game's here not only to honor Keith, but also to raise scholarship money. There's a scholarship fund here locally that is awarded to a student who is able to go and continue their education, which, in my mind, as a guy who has taught at a major university, there's not much more important than education. And if you can help a child out and help a student out to go get that education, continue it on wherever it may be, if it's at UT, if it's at A&M, if it's at Texas State, TCU, wherever, even if it's as far north as Michigan.
Well, you left out Baylor, man. Come on.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm from Alabama. You got to give me a break here.
Sick 'em, man.
So, I'm from this. I'm from SEC country, right? So, as long as you're not sending your kids to the University of Alabama, you're okay. I'm just kidding. I'm an Auburn guy. Sorry. But no, education is a great thing, and that's what we're really out here to do, is raise awareness for the Keith Tuck Memorial Fund. And I think as you listened to the speech earlier, I do encourage you to go back in the stream. If you're listening to this game and you're rewatching it, go back to the beginning and listen to his wife, and you can hear the heartfelt words that were out there.
Absolutely, and it's great that Gridiron Glory exists. George Cox does a wonderful job with the organization, and it's not just an organization that was founded for guys to come out and relive the glory days. It's an organization that was founded to give back as well, and any organization, Brad, that has that at their core to give back is going to be a great organization, and that's what George has done here with the Gridiron Glory. So we're going to take a few moments here and actually let Mr. George Cox take the microphone. George, man, thanks for having us up here, and so far we've seen a great game and wonderful organization you have here with Gridiron Glory, George.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. It has been a defensive struggle so far. There's been a couple of key turnovers, but right now the score is 6-0, and we're at halftime. It's a chilly night here in Dripping Springs.
Yeah, I had a lady earlier telling me I was going to get pneumonia because I didn't realize how cold it was until I ran out on the field to get some name pronunciations because I was in my short sleeves, man. Well, do you mind telling us a little bit about Gridiron Glory, kind of how it started and how you guys have been progressing and doing things throughout the state?
Gridiron Glory Alumni Football started in August of 2012. We were planning for our games that were going to happen in January of 2013. So as of right now, we've been in business for about 38 months, I believe, and we've done 36 games. So we're getting going. People are learning about us all over Texas. We spent last weekend in El Paso recruiting alumni teams there. We've even got one coming over from New Mexico that should be playing an alumni game in January. Next month, we're going to be down in Sour Lake, Texas for the Hardin Jefferson Hawks, playing against the Silsbee Tigers alumni team.
Awesome, man. Now, did you play football back in the glory days?
I did. I played from 1985 to 1987 at Leander. I was a Leander Lion.
Come on, man. I think, I don't know if this is true. I was born and raised in Georgetown, George, and someone told me a long time ago that Leander, when they had built a stadium, they donated some of that stadium to Georgetown. I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, the folks in Leander, wonderful folks, and glad to have them. And that community is growing, man.
Yeah, that definitely growing. Leander and Cedar Park is huge compared to when I went to high school there. Leander had about 2,500 people. Cedar Park had about 2,500. So we had about 5,000 people combined in those two communities, but we had a stadium that seated 10,000 people. That's how big football is in Leander, and that's how big it is in Texas. They actually, in 1985, they brought that stadium down in 52 truckloads from Odessa Permian.
Come on, man. Wow.
We had a little bit of mojo magic working back then.
Well, hey, speaking of glory days and back in the day, how about this gentleman here, number 13 for Dripping Springs, Jackson Blevins, the class of 1981.
That's awesome. That's actually Chris Blevins, and he's wearing his son's name, Jackson Blevins, because it's Jackson's birthday today.
Come on, man.
So he's out there representing his son.
And one thing I noticed, George, that's really exciting about Gridiron Glory is I've covered a couple of other organizations that have done some alumni games, and I've never seen the names on the back of the jerseys. Now, man, that is awesome that you guys are able to do that here.
Now, actually, we don't do that. We let that happen through the alumni teams themselves. We do encourage them to work with our third-party vendor, Full Bore Sportswear, and they go out there and they can get involved and make these games as much as they want to make them. The more work they put into it, the more fun and enjoyment they'll get out of them. But these guys love wearing their custom jerseys around town, you know. They don't just wear them tonight. You'll see them driving around town in that jersey. They love to represent their high schools.
Man, that is great. George, kind of what are some of the plans here going forward after tonight? I know you guys have got some more games scheduled. Do you mind telling us kind of the next kind of sequence of events here at Gridiron Glory?
Well, as I was saying, we're going to be in Beaumont area next month, and then in January we're hoping to go out to El Paso. And about at that time, we're trying to work on a tournament. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'd like to do an 8-team single elimination tournament that would cross over 3 weekends. So it's pretty exciting. It's just kind of hard to pull off because when you're going into a tournament and if you play 3 games in consecutive weekends, you need a pretty heavy roster. So you probably need a maximum roster of about 40 because you're going to have people that have work conflicts. You're going to have people that might get injured. So if you only start off with 25, if you were to make it to the championship, you may end up with only 17 guys. So we're encouraging teams to get that roster built up to around 40. But, again, that's just in the works. We hope it happens, but it might not happen.
George, let's say that someone out there is listening and they said, man, I would love for my school to be able to have an alumni game. What's the process and how does that get started, and how can this become a reality to where they can play with you guys at Gridiron Glory?
You know, it only takes one guy to go to our website and get registered. He can register at gridironglory.com. He'll select his high school name, and he'll get registered, and then that'll come up in my database. I'll contact him, and we'll start talking, and then after that, it's just word of mouth. I mean, these teams generally start with just 1 or 2 guys, and then it just kind of snowballs. The more people talk about it, they get together at a couple of practices. I usually go to at least 2 practices, kind of stress the rules that we have, which are a little different than normal rules. You know, in alumni football, you'll notice there's no blitzing allowed. So our main goal is for everybody to get back out, relive those glory days, and be able to come together at the 50-yard line, say the Lord's Prayer, shake hands, and everybody go home healthy.
Now, quick question. What if there was a cheerleader that wanted to relive her glory days? Would you let her in there?
You know, we've seen alumni teams that have went out and got their own alumni cheerleaders.
I've seen it before in the organization. It's awesome, man, to see these guys out here, and even some of the gals, you know, but and the community still gets behind these and supports them. It's just exciting to see them, especially here tonight in Dripping Springs. What a great venue, and so far it's been a good one. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it has been a good game. I think it's going to open up a little more in the second half. We'll see some more offense as these guys get rolling. Yeah, I'm real happy. You know, I wish it was pretty unfortunate that one player got injured earlier tonight. But right now, these two teams, they respect each other. They're playing hard, and they're just having a good, friendly, full-contact football game.
Awesome. Well, George, we appreciate you, and anything that we can do at SHN to help you guys out. We cover quite a few high schools in the area now, and we're growing that network. And whatever we can do to help you guys out, that's what we're here for, and looking forward to continuing to help you guys wherever we can, man. You've got a great organization I believe in organizations that give back to community, and whenever we had the opportunity to work with you guys, that was something that was important to us, and our core beliefs is giving back, and you guys do that. And again, just congratulations on the business and much continued success, and we'll be back here supporting you, and just whatever we can do to help you out, man. You've got a great one going here, George.
Thank you very much, Robin. We appreciate your partnership, and we look forward to working with you guys in the future. Absolutely.
Well, everyone, that was Mr. George Cox here with Gridiron Glory. We appreciate them and everything that they do here with these alumni games, and you know, it's just the start. As he said, just over 30 months now or so in the business, and it's just the beginning, and it's always exciting when you're just in the beginning of something, because there's so much potential to do so many wonderful things, Brad.
Yeah, and as he said, it's word of mouth. You know, these guys, they'll continue to, you think both of these rosters here will probably continue to grow as the years go by, and more alums graduate. You know, these kids on the Dripping Springs roster now, you never know, in a couple of years, they'll be out here playing ball. So it's a great opportunity for these guys to keep playing, stay active, be involved with the community, and represent the school a little bit too.
Yeah, and you know, as they grow, we just started SHN not too long ago, and part of our goal here is we're going to keep growing and doing some things and help folks such as George to cover things, and it's important to us to give back as well, and we hope that as we continue to grow, we really want to invest in some really nice equipment and even bring a higher level of broadcast than we're doing currently. You know, we've got a long way to go, just like any new organization. Yeah. But we're excited about it. And, man, you came on and started helping us on a whim after I reached out to my good friend Justin Simmons, and we appreciate you. You covered some high school games. Brad, tell us just real quick, as we've got about just a couple of minutes here before kickoff, you worked with the minor league baseball team, is that correct?
Yeah, I actually used to be the voice of the Lansing Lugnuts, a single-A team in Lansing, Michigan. It's crazy. You think single-A, probably a small stadium. Our stadium holds about 13,000 people, and would not be uncommon certain nights to have 10,000, 11,000 at the ballpark. They were an affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. They still are, actually. And I also did some games as the #2 broadcaster before that for the Montgomery Biscuits down in Montgomery, Alabama, my hometown.
Did they put some butter on the biscuits? Man?
You could actually buy biscuits at the game.
That's
I kid
awesome,
you not. And they sell foam biscuit hats like cheese heads too down there now. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I did that, and I've also done some college basketball for a small college baseball.
Awesome, man.
So yeah, definitely a great opportunity. And thanks for reaching out. It's been fun. Chance to get back behind the microphone. It's been a few years since I've done it full time, and like I talked with you, you know, it's something for me that it's a chance to get back and have a little fun up here, just like you're doing too. You know, I know you've got more skin in the game with getting involved and starting up the business, but it's just like we've talked about though. You want to do this because it's a blast for you.
Oh yeah, man.
And I think hopefully that comes through whenever folks are out there listening to these games. Is you hear that. The excitement we have is because it's something we enjoy doing. You know,
absolutely.
It's a Saturday night in November, and luckily I've got the coolest wife in the world. I said, "Honey, I'm going to go call a game this week," and she's like, "Okay, go have fun."
Come on, man. Well, we're just about to kick off. We'll be right back. You're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here tonight. Welcome back here to Gridiron Alumni Football, Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. And we're just getting set to kick things off as Dripping Springs will kick the ball off, and it will go back into Hayes territory.
Tell you what, now's the time to try an onside kick. There's nobody from Hayes up on the 50 within 10 yards of the ball.
Back set to receive as Hayes, the ball, a nice kick down, still on its way, and it's going to roll out of bounds just around the 3-yard line, and the illegal procedure flag comes out.
Yeah, really an unfortunate break there for the Tigers because that was a really, really well-kicked ball. Struck down to about the 10, and unfortunately just a bad bounce. But, you know, those weird oblong footballs, they tend to do that, right?
Yes, sir. And Paul Brown was the intended return man back there, the class of 2014 for the Hayes alumni. And things up here in the booth finally starting to get a little chilly, my man.
Yo, you're the one wearing short sleeves over here, man. I don't understand what you're doing. And you're talking. I'm talking from a guy who lived in the middle of Siberia essentially for a few years up in Michigan. So where it's apparently they got a foot of snow up there today.
Some permafrost, man. Doing some core samples in the ice up there, man, in Michigan.
So my first weekend ever living up there, my friends or some people I was working with said, "All right, let's go out. We want to get to know you a little bit. Let's go have dinner." I walk out, and the bank that was running the thermometer and the time on their little marquee outside, it was -2.
Wow.
So,
well, there's going to be a re-kick here on the field by Dripping Springs. I guess that penalty was declined, so they're going to get a re-kick here. And
they took the 5-yard penalty. Surprised they didn't just want to take the field position, though, at the 35.
Yeah, not sure what's going on down there, why that happened. But anyways, Chad Miles back to receive for the Hayes Rebels alongside number 25, Paul Brown. And set back to kick off for Dripping Springs is number 1, Webb Roush, the 2013 alum. And getting set here for the second reopening in the second half. The ball's up and away. It's going to soar into the hands of Hayes Rebels. The return man across the 25, now the 30. Finds a little bit of a hole, still on his feet as he was trying to catch his footing. He brings that all the way back to the
36-37. That was Paul Brown on the return there.
Yeah, nice job there by Paul Brown, and I guess it did work out.
Really good kickoff, though. I mean, the ball was kicked from the 35, flew all the way down to the 10. You don't see the straight-on kicker too much anymore, but the straight-on kick with some power there.
So that ball is at the 37-yard line. The Hayes Rebels have a good 3/4 or more of the field to work through here.
We got a call time there. I think there was one of the footballs these youngsters were playing with on the sidelines here got on the field.
That ball's on the far hash mark. And back in at quarterback for Hayes is still number 9, Matt Nguano. In shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. The snap back, Nguano steps back. Now a delayed handoff to his running back, still on his feet. Boy, a nice job there by Clavon Highwood. And there is a flag on the field after the game, though, Brad.
Little almost Statue of Liberty draw type play there, where he kind of stood there almost and just waited for it. And it wasn't your typical draw where you fake a pass block or anything. Just kind of standing there with his arms crossed.
Reminds me of Super Mario Brothers 2, where you turn into some bear that turns into concrete. I don't know if you remember that or not.
They're going to attack on 15 here, and then actually it's going to be offsetting.
Wow.
It's going to be a 15-yard face mask on Dripping Springs. And then it looked like a penalty on Hayes was called as well.
There's actually 2 pieces of laundry out there on the field. They're still trying to work through this one.
They're going to walk off. I think what's going to happen here is they're going to walk off the 15 yards on the face mask, and the Hayes penalty might have been
offsetting penalties.
Nope, they're going to call them offsetting. I was thinking they might walk them off and then walk back the other yards based off of dead ball, but not so much here.
Just some extra exercise.
Yeah, you know. I could use it.
Yep. Well, this should be second down and about 5 here for the Hayes Rebels. And shotgun, man in motion. The handoff to that man in motion on the sweep. It's number 2, Xavier Moore, and he's just going to have to run out of bounds, and he's going to lose a couple of yards there back down to the 40-yard line.
Okay, but timeout. Xavier Moore has the best visor on the field because that thing is shiny and blue. As he was running over here, you almost get blinded off the light reflecting on it.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's kind of like Des Bryant out there. Well, they spot the ball at the 40-yard line. It's going to bring down a 3rd down and 7.
Scoring more out of bounds on defense.
And so the Hayes Rebels in huddle here, breaks out of their huddle. Number 84, Prayton Pringle, is going to be up top to the left as long as another receiver, and then 2 receivers down, bottom to the right. And Guino in shotgun, calls for it, steps back. Looking to pass, has the option, throws it to his man, Clavon Highwood. Highwood still on his feet, nice run and spin, and he's going to pick up a few yards all the way up to the 45-yard line, so a nice 5-yard gain there.
Yeah, Robert Willis with a great tackle in the open field to stop the first down because Highwood had planted at foot, really cut up field, and was on his way towards the first down marker, but a great job there by the defender.
And it's actually going to be, I think I said 3rd down last time. This is, from what I'm seeing,
should be 4th and 2. I got 3rd down on the marker over there.
I thought it was 4th down, but
it should be 4th and 2.
And
it's like the Missouri game here.
Yeah, I mean, it is showing 3rd down, so it is 3rd down and 2 according to the marker here. Quarterback in shotgun, the handoff to his back, plowing through. Nice aggressive move. He may have got the first down, Brad, after a powerful 2-yard run there by the big man, number 12 for Hayes, Billy Gandy.
Tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's third down or fourth down that time. Enough to get the first, so you're good to go.
Powered his way through the Dripping Springs defensive line. Didn't have an answer that time, and that's a tough, hard 2 yards to get. It's going to be first down now from the 47-yard line for the Hayes Rebels. Guano in shotgun. 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers to either side. This time the pitch back to his man. It's Billy Gandy again. Gandy on the left side picks up another first down. A nice 12-yard gain on the run by Billy Gandy up to the – they're going to mark him down at the 41-yard line of Dripping Springs.
A really good play call, too. We were talking about staying in between the tackles a little more, getting upfield quicker. And Gandy, what they did to him that time was work him in motion and then pitched it to him in motion already. So he had a head running start to go, and that head of steam really led to the first down.
Absolutely. With the ball on the far hash mark at the Dripping Springs 41. Hayes driving. A couple of first downs on this drive. In shotgun is Nguino, 2 backs behind him. A nice sweep over to Gandy again. Gandy powering his way through and dives for a few more, and he's going to be brought down at the – where are they marking him down here? At the 34-yard line, and now they roll back to the 35. It's going to be in between the 34 and the 35, so about 2 or 3 yards to go for the first down here.
Yeah, we're going to move the camera over just a little bit. We do have an injured player down for Hayes. You could immediately hear the call for medic, but back-to-back plays by Gandy, the same exact play, just both different sides. Student body left, student body right on the pitch plays.
And again, it's cold out there. A lot of these guys are locking up, and it's you hate to see some injuries out on the field. The Hayes player's moving, and so that's a good sign. He's moving his legs and his arms.
Yeah, we got 5 EMS folks here now at the ball game. After earlier tonight, it was a little, I think a couple of them attended to the first injury night, so more folks here to attend to the injuries.
This is pretty neat. We've got some little ones out there tonight as the water boys of the team, if you will, out there helping out the trainers. They're doing a good job tonight, keeping the men hydrated. So it's a lot of fun at a lot of levels, you know, for a lot of these guys.
Well, a chance for kids to see their dads play too, right? I mean, when was the last time, as a kid, if you didn't play in the NFL, you probably never saw your dad play football. So here's an opportunity to get out there and see him in pads, and you know, you get to see your dad as the Gridiron hero.
We're just going to take a few moments here. The Hayes player still on the ground here, and just be a little silent here out of respect, and we'll be back as soon as there's gameplay back in action. Rob Hipp with Brad Tillery here on Gridiron Glory Alumni Football on the SHNSports.com broadcast network. The Hayes Rebel player gets to his feet. He is going to sit down on the stretcher, though, but that's a good sign, seeing him get up on his own power, basically. He did have a little bit of assistance, but he should be okay.
Yeah, and, you know, this time of game specifically, better to be safe than sorry. Take all precaution that you need. You know, guys who are out here playing for pride and having fun with it, but, you know, they're not out here every week playing ball, as we
Absolutely.
said. So, definitely take every precaution possible.
Well, Brad did want to take a moment again and, just give thanks to the San Marcos Hays County EMS that serves Dripping Springs. They've partnered with Hays and Dripping alumni teams to support the Tuck Scholarship Fund by donating their services for tonight's competition directly to the benefit of the Tuck Fund. And again, that's in honor, and tonight the game is in memory of Keith Tuck and supporting his memorial fund, the Keith Tuck Memorial. Their funds provided primarily for scholarships, and again, Coach Tuck was a coach at Lake Travis and Dripping Springs, and just what a way, again, to honor him tonight. We can't say it enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully able to raise a decent amount of money here tonight for the scholarship fund, and everybody comes away with a great night and a great evening here at Dripping Springs.
Well, Hays back on the field here, back on the ball, rather. It's going to be
2nd and 3 or so.
2nd down and about 4 on the play. That's where they've got him marked. And in motion for the Hays Rebels, number 81, Mark Hernandez. This time it's going to be the handoff, and immediately drilled for a stop was Anthony Reyna. And he's going to lose a yard on a play, Brad. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Webb Roush right there
Webb Roush
in the backfield, and a good job of sniffing that ball out for the defense. And we continue to see this trend from the first half, which is the defense is dominating this football game.
Anthony Reyna goes over to the sidelines. Hays is on the away side tonight. Of course, we're playing in Dripping Springs. It's going to bring 3rd down and 5. And Guano in at shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. 2 backs behind him. A snap back. Going to pass here. Looking, reading, passing. And that one, is it intercepted? It appeared to be intercepted.
I think that ball hit the ground.
May have hit the ground first. A nice job there on the defense by, I believe that was Darren Witt.
It was Darren Witt out there with a diving opportunity at the interception. And here we talked about earlier about no man's land, and you're probably in the situation where you're going to go for it here about 4th and 5, 4th and 6 at the Dripping Springs 36, 37-yard line. So still a good chance for Hays. And I'll tell you what, even though it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and long, I don't know that I don't go back to that pitch play with the the running back in motion immediately to try to get some steam up, because that was working well.
We'll see what happens here. Guano in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side, 1 back behind him. 7 minutes to go. Steps back, gonna pass. Shaking, baking, flaking, going. Deep pass down the right side. This one's gonna be almost intercepted. Wow, in and out of the hands of number 4 for the Dripping Springs alumni, Corey Williams, the 99 alumni. Boy, that hit him right in the numbers, and he had a chance.
But I'll tell you what, smart that he didn't catch the ball. That's about a 20, 25-yard difference. That was 4th down. He actually pointed. People started saying, oh, you should have caught that immediately. You can kind of hear it out there. And he immediately pointed to the down mark and goes, that's 4th down. So now, instead of intercepting the ball in the 10, likely being tackled back there, you save your team 20, 25 yards of field position by not catching that ball.
Absolutely. And if there was alumni fantasy football, that would have hurt you. But we don't have alumni fantasy football, so we're good. Running onto the field here, number 21, Darren Witt, for the Dripping Springs Tigers. Dripping Springs here, 6:37 to go, but Hays leading 6-0. Drip back with the ball, another great defensive stand. The ball sits at the 36-yard line.
Tuck is back in at quarterback.
And Tuck's still in there. 2 receivers, beg your pardon, 2 receivers to either side, 1 back behind him. One of the receivers up top is Darren Witt there on the right side. Steps back, and this time a handoff over to his man. Still has the ball. Boy, almost lost it, but it turns into a big pickup of about 5 yards. And that was into the hands of Tyrell Williamson.
Yeah, really nice run over the left side. And one of the few times tonight we've seen Dripping Springs with the ability to run the ball up the middle or within the tackles and get some yards on the ground.
Well, that clock below 6 minutes, Brad. 5:53 to go. The ball is in between the 39 and the 40 on the near hash mark. And Dripping Springs lines up in the same formation. 2 receivers up top to the right, 2 down to the left. And Tuck has 1 back behind him. The snap back, high snap. He's going to pass here, throws another dart right into the hands of his intended receiver, number 3. Still on his feet, enough for the first down.
He's complete to number 3, Davis.
And that's Davis, we heard the PA say, so we're going to start saying Davis. All the way down to the 49-yard line.
Looked like Josh Schluter down there on the tackle for Hays, but really just a good throw there by Tuck. As you said, a dart, a ball that was out of the hands quick and was on the receiver even faster.
Seen a lot of those tonight. Well, the ball now at the 49-yard line in Hays territory. Tuck in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Steps back. This time he's going to hand off to Tyrell Williamson, and Tyrell's going to pick up maybe 1, or actually they're going to say a loss of 2.
No, he lost 2.
Wow.
Fred Lyons was in the backfield by the time that ball was in the hands of Tuck. The lineman just kind of walked through a couple of O-linemen for the Tigers, and a really, really nice play there by Fred Lyons.
So the ball goes from the 49 to the 49. 2-yard loss back into Dripping Springs territory. And it's also going to bring up 2nd down and 12 here. Tuck back in at shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Has Williamson behind him. He's going to pass. Steps back, rolls. Nice deep pass on the right side. Has his man. It's caught. Still on his feet. Going in. He is going to score. What a touchdown and what a pass right there out of the hands of Tuck.
Chase Harper there with the catch there, Rob. Chase Harper.
What a great job by Harper on the far side. Able to shake a defender and runs it in for the deep touchdown. Boy, that one was from about 52 yards.
51, 52 yards, a great play. And really the throw was probably 45, 50 yards in the air before Harper even got his hands on it.
So Dripping Springs, with 4:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter, finally gets on the board after a big 52-yard pass out of the hands of Tuck into the hands of Harper. Chase down there on that right side.
As they cue up the fight song here in Dripping Springs, Texas. You can hear it over the PA, and now they tell you what, they're in danger of a delay of game type penalty here because they're trying to figure out the personnel for this extra point.
Thought for a minute we had a live band here. I was like, all right, man, come on. Sounded good to me.
It appears as if Narlin Baker is going to line us up for the extra point, the class of 1998.
This is huge here.
Yes, chance for the lead.
Chance for the lead, or it's going to be tied. So beg your pardon, it's Narlin Baker. The kick's up and away. What a powerful extra point attempt, and that one's good. And Dripping Springs takes a 1-point lead, leading this one 7-6. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery here on Gridiron Glory Alumni football tonight. In the 3rd quarter, Dripping Springs finally scores. They take the lead after a nice point-after attempt as well, and that was a deep 52-yard pass to Harper.
I'll tell you what, file that extra point away in your memory bank, because if this game comes down to the need for an extra point at some point, or excuse me, not an extra point, but a field goal at some point in this game, that ball would have been good from 45.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ball was crushed through the uprights there, and it was really never a down if it was straight enough. So there's a little bit of a secret weapon in Narlin Baker out there for Dripping Springs.
Baker, the shaker tonight. Man. Still very impressive. We talked about Tuck and just his ability to pass as he's came back out on the field, and man, it's just been exciting. Again, the Dripping Springs Tigers take the lead on their possession, 7-6, 4:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Saw Taj Bodie down there breaking it down as they're lining up for this kickoff.
Drip sitting here to kick the ball. It's kicked up and away, a deep kick all the way down near the goal line. It is at the goal line. And Hayes has it, crossing the 10-yard line. Now the 15 on the far side. Still on his feet to the 20. Still on his feet, going down the field. And Drip trying to put a stop on him. They finally knock him out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And that was a nice return there by Jason Finn.
Paul Brown, actually, with the return there. Looked like 25.
Oh, 25 was Paul Brown, I beg your pardon. And, man, he brings that ball all the way from the goal line, Brad, down to the 49-yard line of the Dripping Springs Tigers, and actually they're going to call it right at the 50. So a 50-yard return.
Yeah, that was, a well-executed kick there by Baker, just booming one down there to the goal line. But you saw some shiftiness and some quickness out of Paul Brown there. He's a little younger than some of these guys. Class of 2014. He's still got maybe those young, fresh legs and able to shake and bake his way down to the 50.
Brian Marshall, it's not hard to miss him out there. He's got some neon green socks, number 82, the class of 2000. For Dripping Springs, making away onto the field is Taj Bodie, number 10. And also out there in the backfield is Corey Williams in the secondary. Here we go. Hayes on the far side. Snap the roll back. Shovel pass over to number 7 is Howitt. Howitt still on his feet across the 40, down to the 30-yard line. Got room on the far side. Still running. trying to dice his way down to the 15, breaks a tackle to the 10. He's going to go in and score. What a run. What a touchdown right there by number 7, Clavon Highwood. Wow.
What a fantastic run, but I'm going to say something here that somebody needs to pay attention to. We have a flag on the field back at the 50, by the way. But Michael Hippolito threw a block down against Abel Martinez right about the 10, 15-yard line that finished the run and allowed him to go in for the touchdown, but unfortunately, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, unfortunately, a 50-yard touchdown run, but it doesn't count. And the official threw the flag right at the 50, and instead of it being a 50-yard run, it's going to be back 10 yards to the 40. Now they've got 60 yards to go, and, man, still an impressive run right there by Clavon Highwood. Yeah,
he showed some speed. He showed some elusiveness, a great decision to cut it back across the field. Some really nice blocking downfield there for Hayes, but, just an unfortunate time to get the holding called against you.
3:04 to go here, the clock ticking. Dripping Springs holding on to that 1-point lead, 7-6. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery tonight here on the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football, brought to you by SHN Sports. We appreciate you watching this one here tonight. We'll see what Hayes has on their towel. I don't know if they have pockets, but some of them have towels out there.
Something to keep yourself warm.
And Guino in shotgun, steps back, going to hand off. This time to number 12, it's Billy Gandy. Gandy rolling his way down, and he's going to be brought down after a nice 6-yard gain to the 46-yard line.
That was actually Chad Miles there when they carried up the middle, number 32. But yeah, really nice job opening the hole, and you're starting to see the run games come alive for both teams.
Absolutely, thank you for that.
About 6 yards on the play. We're still looking at 2nd and 14.
It's going to be a big 2nd down and 14 here, as you just probably heard the PA say behind us. And Hayes still in their territory. They've got a ways to go here. 2 minutes now in the 3rd quarter. The clock's ticking. And Guano here in shotgun, has 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers to either side. In motion is Anthony Reyna. This time the deep pitch back. It's going to be a fumble, and luckily able to get back on the ball, but going to take a huge loss is Chad Miles all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Anguino was expecting Miles to not be that far over yet. Miles may have overran the pitch play before the ball was ever thrown out his way, and that's what led to the fumble, as the pitch actually was behind him the entire way.
It's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 26 here for the Hayes Rebels.
Tell you what, if I was them, I might try to get Paul Brown on the field, your return man, who showed some great speed. Maybe see if you can't run a little screen or something to that effect and get him something short on a pass and let him try to make it break a few tackles.
Actually looks like 3rd down and 27, and Guano lines up in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the right, 1 down, or beg your pardon, 2 up top to the left, 1 down to the right. Guano steps back looking, throwing, deep pass down to the 40-yard line. Has his man. It's caught for the 1st down right at the 40-yard line. An unbelievable pass, and even better catch right there by number 4 for the Hayes Rebels, Josh. Oh, I beg your pardon, that's not Josh Schwartz.
No, that's Peyton Pringle coming up with a catch
Pringle,
again.
Number 84.
Every time they've needed a big catch tonight, Peyton Pringle has been there to make it. That's his 3rd big one. Probably puts him at about 80, 90 yards tonight in receiving yards on the game.
Yeah, Brad, he has just played lights out. And
of course, he has the touchdown, too.
Yeah, coming back for the ball on that one, but still a big pickup right there, and more importantly, the 1st down for the Hayes Rebels, moving from left to right here tonight. They're on that far hash mark, and Pringle lines up on the far side. 2 receivers up top to the left, 1 down to the right. It's Brian Marshall. Man in motion is Mark Hernandez. This time the handoff over to number 12, Billy Gandy. Gandy's got room to run on the near side, still on his feet, and he's dancing through defenders all the way down to the 20-yard line. What a nice run right there on a 1st down effort by number 12, Billy Gandy.
That's that same play we saw them run with Gandy earlier in the quarter, where they ran it back-to-back plays, little pitches out to the left, out to the right. They come back to it late in the quarter, and it goes for, what, solid 20 yards or so there as that ends the quarter.
Well, at the end of the 3rd quarter here, Dripping Springs takes the lead 7-6, but Hayes driving. We'll be right back. You're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. Welcome back here to Gridiron Glory Football on SHN Sports. Rob Hibb alongside Brad Tillery. We have a great game in the making here. Things started out slowly for both teams as Hayes went in the locker room leading this one 6-0, but Dripping Springs came back. A big pass on their last possession, a 52-yard pass, but then Hayes here driving, looking to score as they're moving from right to left, switching sides. We have just seen it all tonight here in the final moments of this game. It's going to be fourth quarter, 12 minutes to go. And Hayes back onto the field here at the 20-yard line. They're in the red zone, again moving from right to left. And Guano in shotgun. Two receivers to either side. Now the handoff. Actually, it's going to be a pass deep down on the left side of the corner. In, caught, touchdown. What a catch right there again by Brayton Pringle. That is his second one of the night.
There's a flag down in the end zone, though, right about where Pringle was catching the ball. So this could come back. We'll see.
More than likely it will, and, man, that's tough because that's 2 touchdowns now on this drive alone, Brad, that have came back. We're waiting to see, actually. It's against Drip.
They called it against the Tigers, so it will stand. Touchdown, Hayes.
Nice job right there. Again, Tuck, a 20-yard pass over to Pringle. And, you know, that's his second one tonight from that 20-yard line. That's a good luck line.
In the same part of the end zone, too, on this near side, deep in the back of the end zone. And that's going to put him, if I had to guess, 110 yards of receiving tonight, 2 touchdowns. I think you've got your MVP for the evening so far. And they're going to go for 2, and they kind of have to push this out to 7 points.
They've got 2 receivers far on either side, 2 backs lined up behind him. One of them back there is Billy Gandy. Look for the ball to go to him. It is. It's a pitch out to Gandy. Gandy's got room on the left side. Gandy's got the 2-point conversion. And Hayes has the 7-point lead, 14-7 with 11:52 to go in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, that was some nice edge blocking on the left side of the line there by the Tigers as they were able to just get Gandy out there, and Gandy went in untouched, walking in there for the touchdown. So 14-7 your score as Dripping Springs has fallen back behind to Hayes, and Hayes with the lead by a touchdown with 11:52 to go in the ball game tonight on this cold, crisp evening here in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Yeah, man, and finally, man, when we came up here, even though it was in the mid-50s when we got up here to the press box, inside the press box it was toasty, but we had to open up the window, and, man, now it's getting chilly up here tonight. Well, 11:52 to go here in the ball game. The score's 14-7. And you got to wonder here, Mr. Josh Schwartz out there tonight, and he's still out there kicking barefoot, man.
How is his foot not just frostbitten right now? That's what I don't understand, man.
I was looking to see if it was the Adam Sandler Deeds Blackfoot out there, you know, if it's got hypothermia, man.
Here comes the Blackfoots.
It's a good part of that movie where he's like, go ahead, hit it harder. Ah, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just kidding. You didn't hurt me.
Saving, who was it, Winona Ryder? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Was it in the movie with him?
Yep, sure was. Well, once again, Hayes, an impressive drive, and Schwartz getting ready to kick off. A nice drive kick off that barefoot. It's going to sail around the 20. Dripping Springs bobbles it, but they pick it up. Still on their feet, it's John Delaway. Delaway still driving around. Nice return, spinning, diving down close to the 40-yard line. And Delaway is going to have it right at the 40-yard line. What a big return there, a 20-yard return by John Delaway.
Yeah, nice job of recovering that little muff on the kickoff and able to get some yardage out of it. And it's a big drive for Dripping Springs to try to come out here and answer. Remember, most of this game is being played with a running clock where it's only 11:40 to go in the ball game. So you want to answer pretty quickly against Hayes, who just went down there and scored on you. But, you know, last time, Dripping Springs was able to get the quick touchdown, so let's see if they can do it again on the long pass last time.
We'll see what happens here. Dripping Springs on the near hash mark at the 39-yard line. In shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. We'll see what Tuck has up his sleeve. The handoff to his big man. Running around the side and brought down. He had some room, but he just couldn't go forward. That was Tyrell Williamson, the 2008 alum. He's going to lose one on the play, Brad.
Yeah, really nice defensive play there by Hayes. And You know, they've been having – the Tigers have had problems getting outside all night long. Their most success running the ball has been up the middle, and there you would like to see it again. And now timeout's been called as EMS looks like they're going across the field. One of the players for Hayes is on the sidelines. He's actually down in the end zone down there, limping a bit, and I think that's what they're trying to get EMS over to, if I'm making it out right.
We'll see what's going on here because no one's really –
no, I don't see.
No one's in distress.
I don't see anybody down.
As far as what we can tell here.
We do know EMS is going across the field.
Some of these guys, you know, probably quite a bit winded over there on the sideline as well. They haven't got out and ran this much, and especially with the cold air. I know, man, when I play outside and it's cold, again, when I play outside, man, it's been years. But last time I did and it was cold outside, man, your chest just hurts when you breathe in that cold air, man.
Well, you know, my muscles hurt if I'm playing golf in 45, 50-degree weather, so I can only imagine trying to get out there and play full-contact football, right?
It's going to be 2nd down and 11 here for Dripping Springs. They're on the 39-yard line. Tuck in at shotgun. Triplets down to the right this time. One receiver up top to the left. The snap back, high snap, rolls, looking right, scanning, passing, has a man. It's too far over the right side. Intended receiver was Chase Harper, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
I'll tell you, Rob, I don't know if you're looking, but he had his receiver at the top of the screen in one-on-one coverage, deep down the middle. And I think that if Tuck had looked that way, he would have taken the shot because it was a touchdown waiting to happen.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it didn't, and here we are with 3rd and 11. And things just a little slow here coming out of the huddle for Dripping Springs. The clock running at 10:19 now, and they've got to move. Hayes has the lead at 14-7 here in the final quarter of play. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Thanks for joining us for Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here on SHN Sports. We appreciate you. And this time, Tuck is going to line up in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Snap back, looking, scanning to the left, passing, another dart. And does he have it? Is it complete? We're waiting to see the call. It wasn't the first down marker. If he was, they're going to say it hit the ground, incomplete. A nice job there by Tuck into the hands of his intended receiver, and unfortunately incomplete.
Yeah, really nice attempt there. The ball was slightly underthrown, but it was an opportunity. But there's a flag down. It looks like the flag is going to go against Hayes, and it's going to give Dripping Springs a 1st down. There's a personal foul penalty out there.
That was Davis, the intended receiver, but it didn't matter anyways. As you just said, a personal foul. It's going to be a 1st down into Hayes territory at the 45. They're going to call it at the 46-yard line.
1st and 10, Dripping Springs at the 46-yard line.
So Drip trying to move the ball here. The Tigers trying to roar their way into the end zone, but the Rebels trying to put a stop to them. We'll see. Not putting a stop to them by allowing penalties, though. Overall, a well-played game by both teams here. It's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 40. It looked like an offsides penalty, and in fact, they're going to call a false start.
Somebody was either offsides because the entire line of scrimmage or the entire D-line was across the way. But, you know, I wonder if the call wasn't necessarily the center might have moved the ball a little bit, and that could be the false start call against Dripping Springs.
Yeah, and now it's going to go back into Dripping Springs territory at the 49-yard line.
And I think if you're Dripping Springs, you line back up. Your running game was working through the tackles a minute ago. Do that. And then also those little 6-7-yard hitch routes. They've been there all night long. And that'll set up your deep pass that was there on the couple of plays ago.
1st down and 15. This time the handoff to the big man. It's Chase. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it was Chase Harper. And he doesn't
that
pick
looked
up
like
much.
Terrell Williamson. And now a flag down. It's getting a little chippy out there in this game.
That ball's down to the 50-yard line. Yeah, 39, I beg your pardon. I said 89. Okay. We'll see what the call is here. And was it Hayes this time with the unsportsmanlike?
It got thrown in there right about probably a solid 5-6 seconds after the play. It got a little chippy inside, and now penalties being thrown. And
it was actually a face mask.
I think I just saw an ejection.
I thought I heard 39 face mask, which wouldn't make sense.
No ejection. I thought I saw the movement, but maybe not. I thought I saw the thumb out there, kind of like the old baseball style.
Well, no, he takes his helmet off.
No, I think he's gone.
Yep.
So it looks like Dripping Springs has lost Terrell Williamson in this ball game.
And Williamson has been a powerful player here in the latter part of this game. Now another flag flies onto the field. Wow.
The referee was standing right there after he had just made the call.
Personal foul again on Dripping Springs. That's going to move the ball back even more.
Yeah, that was an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. And, whew, I tell you what, it's going to be, second down and a country mile here for Dripping Springs.
It's going to be what I like to call when we're at away games, it's second down in Georgetown. And that ball goes all the way back to the 17-yard line. Wow. Maybe the 18. Actually at the 18-yard line.
Second and 47.
Wow. Second down and 47. They've got to get all the way back to the Hayes 36-yard line. Well, I've seen some crazier things happen. Just got to play smart here. They were driving. Things were looking good, and a couple of penalties. Give the officials credit. They are keeping this one in check tonight. They're not letting anything slide around. They want it to be a professional game. So, again, second and 47 with 8:44 to go. Tuck in at shotgun. Steps back. High snap. Rolling to his right. Looking. Scanning. Throwing. And this one too short. Nowhere close to his intended receiver, number 11, Bryce Alarms. It's going to bring up third down and 47.
Yeah, third and really long. And I think if you're Dripping Springs here, you're looking for something that maybe you can break a couple of tackles. I don't necessarily know if you want to try to throw the ball 30, 40, 50 yards down the field here. Just something short, and if you can break something, great. If not, get yourself in position to punt and try to play defense to get the ball back for one more chance.
And that clock now at 8:20, still ticking. Hayes taking, or beg your pardon, Dripping Springs taking their time here. Just a couple of penalties, and huge penalties that weren't really penalties they could afford to get. Davis out there, number 3 on the far side. 2 receivers up top to the left, 2 down to the right. Tuck in shotgun, has a back behind him. Going to serve as a blocker for him. Steps back, Tuck passing, far side, dart. And this one's up for grabs. It's going to be intercepted by Hayes and finally drug out of bounds around the 33-yard line. It was number 32, Chad Miles.
Great interception by Miles, climbing the ladder there to get that ball over the shorter receiver, and the ball was slightly overthrown. And here's a chance for Hayes to maybe put this game away. And here's the note that I said, file away. Even if they don't get this ball in the end zone, they've got a guy who it looks like he can kick the ball 35, 40, 45 yards, so you don't necessarily need to punch this in the end zone to stretch this lead to a 2-score game.
Yeah, a good point there. We saw it earlier as he kicked a point after attempt, and it, or I beg your pardon, it was that.
It was the point after
attempt, yeah. And here we go. Hayes lines up on the 25-yard line.
You got Pringle at the bottom down here on one-on-one coverage.
And Guano in a quarterback. Steps back, rolls a nice little sweep pitch out to number 12. It's Billy Gandy. Gandy still on his feet. They can't bring him down. They finally get him down around the 10-yard line. And, boy, there's a personal foul penalty as Josh Schwartz was upended over there in the end zone.
Number 10,
man, and it's did you see Schwartz do a backflip?
I did.
The big man
did a little bit of a backflip after the play was well over and kind of well away from the ball, and not what you want to see in a game like this at all. You know, any game really that you see, but specifically an alumni game where we're out here to do things for charity in the community. It's just not something you want. And
that was a personal foul against Dripping Springs. So unfortunately, Drip here in the final quarter of this game, kind of losing a little bit of their control, and emotions get it wrapped up. And that's what we said early out starting the game. The first couple of quarters, usually it's all pretty kosher, but then the last 2 quarters, the second part of the game, things usually get pretty intense here in these alumni games.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially it's a 1-score game. These guys are out here. They want to win. It's tight. Who knows? Somebody might be having the tab on them later tonight if they don't win. You never know what's out there with these guys who are around in the same county and they know each other.
Absolutely. Well, 7:20 to go here in the final quarter of the game. Hayes Rebels lead this one 14-7, but they are driving down here after a personal foul against Dripping Springs. Just really an inadvisable penalty, and that's going to put Hayes in good scoring position at the 5-yard line. It's first down and goal.
Tell you, Rob, if I'm Hayes, I do the exact same thing I just did, which is get Billy Gandy out there on that toss sweep. It's been effective this entire second half.
And Gweno lines up, has 2 backs behind him. Look for a run on that right side. It is. It's a sweep out over to Gandy. Gandy fighting his way through, and Gandy appears to have it. Gandy does. Touchdown, Hayes Rebels.
Billy Gandy fights.
That's the play.
Well, does he have it?
I sure thought he was in there.
Well, I may have prematurely called that one.
Yeah, they called him about a foot short, it looks like.
Him just before he crosses.
Folks, my bad on that call. I thought I saw the official throw up the touchdown signal and got a little carried away up here for the Hayes Rebels. Well, Hayes got a chance here. It's definitely not 33. They got 34 on the scoreboard. That's not right.
No, it's 14-7 is your score. About a foot to go to make it 20-7.
Here we go this time. He's going to step back, and boy, he's drilled for a loss there as Gandy tried to drive in, and he's going to lose a couple on the play, and that's going to bring up – is this going to be 4th down? It's 3rd down. So 3rd down and goal for the Hayes Rebels. A nice defensive stop there by Dripping Springs. Coming onto the field is Wandle Rutledge for the Dripping Springs Tigers, replacing number 55, Thomas Engel. Now the score's right up there. 6:03 to go. The clock's ticking.
Well, and Hayes is doing the smart thing here, taking their time, getting the right play call. You think they're going to run the ball. And again, you know, they just tried the straight handoff out the middle. It didn't work. Get back to that toss sweep. It's been working.
Look for it on the right side here. They've got a lot of guys stacked up here in this formation. 3rd and goal. The handoff this time to Big 32, diving. And slicing his way down, it is a touchdown. Nice run into the end zone by number 32, Chad Miles, the 2008 alumni for the Hayes Rebels.
Touchdown, Hayes.
That might be enough to salt this one away for Hayes. A really nice job of taking advantage of the interception and the good field position, keeping the ball on the ground, and pounding their way into the end zone here.
5:31 to go. Hayes takes a commanding 20-7 lead. We've seen flashes on both sides of the field tonight as things were slow early on, but the end of the 3rd and into the 4th quarter, we've seen a lot of action now, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely, and a chance here for Hayes to get the extra point, go up by a full 2 touchdowns. But again, it's been a really well-played second half. Dripping Springs came out, got the lead, but Hayes in this 4th quarter has just kind of overpowered the home team here.
Schwartz here. The leg kick, it's up. Wow, Schwartz drills that one.
No doubt.
Oh, yes, it is. And a nice point after attempt there by Schwartz. He missed one earlier, but that one drilled right through the uprights. And, man, I bet his leg is stinging tonight.
Well, you know, he's going to go home and have a big welt on that bare foot from all the kicking tonight and probably say, honey, what happened here? I don't know. I need like a bath salt or something to hold me around.
It's kind of like, what do you do when it's cold out? Do you put a warm pack on it or you put an ice pack on it if it's hurting?
Well, he's got an ice pack on it just sitting out there tonight, as cold as it is.
Exactly. Well, it's been a great one here. Again, Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. We appreciate you joining us here on the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. George Cox and his crew just do a fantastic job tonight. This one benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial Fund, the Memorial Funds for Scholarships. Also, Brittany Tuck, his daughter. Just wonderful folks. Coach Tuck was a coach at Lake Travis and Dripping Springs for some time, and what a way to honor him tonight here in Dripping Springs for this wonderful alumni game. Again, brought to you by the great folks, or put on by the great folks over at the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football, presented by SHN Sports. We're honored to be here and be a part of this one tonight.
Yeah, very much so. It's a good time tonight, and a nice chance to get out here and see some guys play ball, and it's been a good, hard-fought game, and you know, we just hope for the rest of it to continue the same way it's been going.
So the kickoff by Hayes. This one's going to roll out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and an illegal procedure. And that should move it up, I believe, to the 40-yard line for Dripping Springs.
Yeah, well, they're going to have the option of taking the ball at 35 or 40 or re-kicking here, and it looks like they're going to line them up and re-kick it.
Hey, well, you know, this happened earlier in the game, and I believe it was Drip on the same end of this, and they said the re-kick, and it actually benefited them as they got it up past the 40, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was actually earlier this quarter.
Decline. They're going to
the last touchdown that Hayes scored on the second touchdown pass over there in the corner to Peyton Pringle. Right after that, they set it up. And it looked like Hayes might have been trying to get the ball, that little spot kick into the dead zone over there, but it just rolled out of bounds on him.
5:31 to go here in the ball game. Hayes has the lead, 21-7. The kickoff by Schwartz at the 35. It's up and away, a line drive kick, and this one bounces to the 15. And Dripping Springs return man drops the ball. He's able to fight back onto it. It was John Dellaway, luckily able to pick it up, and that ball's going to be
he's going
to be stopped around the 24-yard line.
The 24-yard line.
Yeah, just mishandled the kick there on the weird bounce. It was a low kick there
made by
from Josh Schwartz. And the Schwartz was with him on the kick and the bounce there.
Schwartz. I still like whenever you helped us for the first time on Halloween and you started out, good evening, this Halloween night. Well, the night's not Halloween, but it was still fun, man. We appreciate you, Brad.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. It's been a blast doing these games, and hopefully it's a partnership that can continue for a while.
And here we go, Dripping Springs trying to put some more points on the board with 5:07 to go. They're down 2 scores, 21-7. At their own backfield, the pass over onto the right side. A nice catch and grab there by number 89, Chase Harper. And Harper's going to bring the ball up near the first down marker. And it is a first down by Harper.
That's the kind of play I've been saying all night that I'd like to see more of out of Dripping Springs. Those little 8-9-yard hitch routes. Harper's a big target out there on the outside. That's a play that's probably there all evening if you wanted it.
Absolutely. Clock ticking below 4:30 now. Ball in the near hash mark. Steps back as Tuck. Tuck looks right side again. Harper. Harper has it again and steps out of bounds.
Once again,
and a nice pickup on that play down to the Dripping Springs 42-yard line. So a nice little 7-yard pickup on that one, Brad.
Yeah, been there all night. And now here's what you do is you run the same type of play. You fake the hitch route, and then you go. So here's the time for the hitch and go to Harper if you want it.
It's back-to-back plays, and Drip moving the ball here. And even though he stepped out there, I guess they run the clock even if he steps out.
No,
they finally.
Timeout being called by the referee on the field down there, it looked like.
Maybe because he stepped out. We'll see. Near hash mark here. Tuck in shotgun, steps back, gonna pass, fake, pump fakes, deep pass on the left side. And this one is gonna be almost a one-handed interception there by number 32, Chad Miles. He had one earlier. That ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, really good opportunity there for Miles to make that grab and probably would have put the game away officially, but just couldn't handle it with the one hand there.
And this is gonna bring up a big 3rd down here and 3 for the Dripping Springs Tigers back on their side of the field. That ball still sitting at the 42-yard line. So hopefully they can pick up the first down here and keep on trucking and try to put some points on the board with 4:04 to go, Brad.
Marker across the way says 4th down. The Dripping Springs players say it's 3rd down, and now they're fixing the marker.
There we go. Ball in the near hash mark. Tuck again in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Has his back lined up behind him on the right side. Calling for it. The snap. This time, he's going to keep it. On the quarterback keeper, has room on the right side, has the first down, lowers his head, and barrels his way down to the 50-yard line. What a nice run there on the quarterback keeper by Jeff Tuck.
Yeah, there's one you haven't seen all night. The option keeper around the end. Really a play that's smart. A good opportunity for Tuck, and now you got to get moving if you're Dripping Springs.
Here we go in the hurry-up offense now. Tuck and shotgun, 2 to either side. Steps back, looking, scanning, bright side pass. Has a man in and out of his hands. He may have been out of bounds anyways if we would have called it. It was incomplete pass. Intended receiver Bryce Alarms.
Yeah, Alarms was there all by his lonesome at the 40. It would have been another first down for the Tigers, and you see them moving a little more pace now, just getting up on the line and going. And they're going to have to score and try an onside kick and get it again here. But first things first, you got to put one in the end zone, and you're only at the 50 with 3:42 to go.
Yeah, and the ball's barely in. Actually, the ball's barely at the 50. It's about 49.925, if you want to put it in decimal form.
Had a couple of youngsters running on the field there in between, trying to get into the huddle, it looked like.
Maybe they're wanting to call some plays. All right, 3:42 to go. Dripping Springs trying to put some points on the board here. Tuck in at shotgun. This time has triplets up top to the left, 1 receiver down to the right. Calling for it. Shotgun, high snap, bobbles around, looking, passing, throws a dart on that left side, right at the feet, incomplete there to Ronnie Love. And that was a good effort there, but just too low of a pass. He was able to avoid a surge by the Dripping Springs, beg your pardon, the Hayes defense, and just wasn't able to complete the pass.
Yeah, Webb Roush there just dropping it right at his feet, a little low to him, and a chance to get to it and wasn't able to get there.
Clock at 3:37. Hayes, of course, has a lead, 21-7. A big third down here for the Tigers. Third down and 10. Tuck in at shotgun. Triplets remain up top to the left, one receiver down to the right. Has a man offset, and they're going to call a false start or encroachment.
It's the second time we've seen the entire line for Dripping Springs come over, and that time it's going to be against them. The first time it was against Dripping Springs.
They broke the neutral zone on that one, and that moves the ball into Hayes Rebel territory. It's going to be third down and 5 now. 3:36 to go in the ball game. And Dripping Springs has 2 scores to catch back up. Triplets up top to the left, one receiver down to the right. Tuck in at shotgun, standing at the 50. High snap. He's got to get back on it. Bounces right into his hands. Tuck still with it. Tuck looking, scanning, throwing a deep pass down the center part of the field. It's incomplete. And he had a man there on the right side. He was looking in the direction, and Bryce Alarm said, hey, man, I was wide open, but still a great effort after that bad snap, able to get back on it and throw an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5, basically 4th down and ball game here for the Tigers.
For the folks watching that play, sorry about that. Our tripod kind of fell off its little axis as we were following the play there that time.
It's cold.
Tripod's cold too.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be up here. I do. I enjoy this. This is fun, man. We're having a good one up here tonight. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Thanks for joining us. 21-7, Hayes leads, but Dripping Springs trying to drive here with 3:16 to go in a ball game. Almost a neutral zone infraction. Another high snap. Steps back, Tuck. Tuck shaking. Do a little Johnny 8 Manziel-esque move and almost has a completed pass. It's in and out of the hands of Bryce Alarms. He couldn't hold on to it. That would have been a first down. But there is a flag on the play.
It's going to be a hold on Dripping Springs. Hayes had a man coming up through the line of scrimmage, and it looked like he got held pretty aggressively before he was able to get to Tuck.
It was a nice little move there, though. A little Johnny Manziel-esque by Jeff Tuck.
Yeah.
And they're saying this is against Hayes?
Wow. I don't know what the call is going to be, but there was an obvious hold up the middle.
And if it is against Hayes, that's going to be a first down for Dripping Springs with 3:10 to go. It is against Dripping Springs, and that's going to be well, we're waiting to see here. They're still talking about it down at midfield. Kind of everybody getting on the field now, trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, almost the entire Hayes squad is out there because the offensive unit comes back onto the field. And
they're going to give the ball to Hayes here.
And it will be Hayes football. So the Dripping Springs offense makes their way back to the field. Both sides going back where they belong.
I would love to get the folks at home what the call was, but I honestly don't see a full call being made, and somebody on Dripping Springs is not very happy right now.
Yeah, there's a player down there too with his helmet off. That's Jackson. Chris. His name is actually Chris Blevins. He's wearing, I believe it was his son's name. His son's name, Jackson, but his name is actually Chris Blevins. And so we're still trying to sort things out here on the field, and I believe that's George Cox down there just trying to make sure that everything's flowing. Is that George down there?
It looks like him.
He's an Iron Man. Upstairs talking to us, downstairs.
Well, I saw him down there in the middle of the call trying to help clean things up for everybody.
Well, Hayes takes over on downs here. 3:10 to go. They lead 21-7. In motion is Mark Hernandez. And a pass down the center field, has a man wide open across the 30-yard line, lowers his head, still on his feet, and Drip having a hard time bringing him down, swinging him down all the way to the 15-yard line. What a catch right there by Mark Hernandez from the hands of Anguano. Unbelievable pass by Hayes.
Yeah, really, really good job of Hernandez working his way across the middle. Nobody around him when he made the catch. And a nice opportunity to grab an extra 30 yards or so after the catch.
Ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. The officials are saying run the clock, and there it goes. 2:56 to go. Hayes with the ball, striking distance again in the red zone, leading this one 21-7.
Remember, Dripping Springs led this game 7-6 at the turn of the quarter.
And Hayes here has just really turned it on. They're really warmed up now. And Guano lines up, 2 backs behind him, kind of an I formation. Now offsets is Billy Gandy. And the fumble on the field, and Guano just has to fall back onto it. Mishandled snap there.
Falls on it.
I tell you what, I don't even know if it was a mishandled snap as it was. He just missed the handoff to the running back. And a really nice, smart job there of Guano to grab the ball and just fall on it to make sure that they kept possession.
The clock ticking here, 2:14. Hayes has the lead, 21-7. It's going to be 2nd down and 15, a 5-yard loss on that mishandle. And Hayes obviously not showing any urgency, as they shouldn't, with a 14-point lead and now under 2 minutes. The clock still a ticking. Time I hear a clock and ticking, I think of Timex. It's a licking and keeps on ticking. I haven't seen one of those in 10 years, man, the commercials. Here we go. Anguino back in shotgun. 2 backs behind him. This time he's going to pass. Scanning, looking to his left. Now he's trying to roll. Still has it, throws it. This time he just throws it out of bounds. Nice job there by Anguino.
Throws the ball out of bounds.
And with 1:35 to go, the clock stops. There is a flag on the play, however, and it looks to be against
Hayes.
Hayes. It's going to be a holding call. That's going to set him back. It should be 2nd down and 20.
You're getting to the point in the game where the Tigers need a turnover and a score on the same play there, a pick 6 or a fumble 6, something of that nature, and then an onside kick and a long pass again to have a chance at tying this ball game up.
And I believe that's going to be 2nd down and 20 now, Brad, from the 30-yard line.
They called Antoine Westry for the hold there on Hayes. You can hear the referee yelling out the number.
Don't need a microphone. We can hear him here tonight. 2nd down and 20. And Guano has 2 backs behind him. Going to step back, looking, passing, right side. And that one almost caught down at the 5-yard line by his intended receiver.
Pass falls incomplete.
A nice opportunity there.
Brian Marshall. It just went right out of his hands, hit him right in the chest. Marshall was there, and if he catches it, he walks into the end zone for a touchdown there.
1:19 to go. The clock stops yet again. And it's been a fun one here tonight. Things early on were pretty slow as Hayes had that 6-0 lead. Drip comes back and scores to lead it 7-6. But since that moment, there has been several unanswered touchdowns by the Hayes Rebels, or a couple of unanswered touchdowns by the Hayes Rebels here. Now the clock at 59 seconds, and is there going to be a timeout on the field here? They stop play.
Water break? Calling for water?
Yes, there is a timeout on the field, and that's called by the Dripping Springs Tigers.
Timeout.
As the little ones run out there with the water. That's cool to see that, man.
You know, they're probably always running straight to their dad, too, right? So that's the thing you got to do. If you got a kid out here watching you play, for all the folks listening for the next game you play, get your kid out here, make them the water person. You get the first one to get water.
Yeah, exactly. And you tell them, too. You say, bring that water. You say, bring that right to me first.
There's a Happy Meal in it for you after the game. That's the way it's got to work.
Sounds pretty good to me, man. Well, again, we want to give a special thanks tonight to our good friend, Mr. George Cox from Gridiron Glory Alumni Football, for allowing SHN to be a part of this broadcast. And you'll be able to go back and watch this one. It's going to be a fun one to go back and watch. There were some big plays. I can't wait, honestly, to go back, Brad, and watch that one-handed grab that we saw a little bit earlier in the game. That was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice catch down there. I forgot exactly who caught it, but a really great one-handed grab across the middle.
Absolutely, and they're wanting to reset the clock here, I believe, to 1:35, if I heard that correctly.
Yeah, you did. 1:35 on the game clock.
Man, you don't need a microphone here at Dripping Springs. We had guys on the field hollering that, and we could hear it from up here. All right, folks, here we go. Hayes in shotgun. It's Anguano. 2 receivers to either side. The sweep, pitch back. And is it going to be an option play? The old flea flicker back over to Anguano. Now Anguano passes again deep into the end zone. He's got a man man wide open. Touchdown! What a play right there to number 81, Mark Hernandez. Wow, that was a double flea flicker. That one's going to be fun to go back and watch.
Yeah, it will be, but there is a flag down on the play.
But hold on, folks.
They're calling the touchdown. There is a flag down on the play at the
Penalty
38.
on the play.
A really well-designed play, though, on the throwback pass back to Iguano, and a nice throw by Iguano back down in the end zone.
Would you call that a double flea flicker?
Yeah, well, the flea flicker would require the running back to go up the middle and click it back. It's more of a throwback pass, I think.
It was kind of a double throwback.
Yeah.
And, man, I don't think it's going to count.
That's the second big play by Hayes. It was a touchdown that looks like it's going to be brought back.
Waiting to see what the call is, man. Down there also was Brian Marshall. I thought the ball was going to go to him, but Mark Hernandez was down there also and was able to receive it. And they were all alone in that backfield.
Yeah, there was no one down in the end zone with him. Fooled everyone. Fooled me, but really nice play.
And the shoe comes off.
They're going to give it to him?
No, the shoe comes off down here of our buddy John Schwartz.
Well,
his shoe comes off.
If the shoe's off, that means there's an extra point coming, which means the touchdown's alive.
Or was it a fourth down and now he's going to go for a long field goal?
You know the other thing that they could be talking about is, they're going to give him the touchdown. I was thinking the quarterback, Iguano, might have had his knee on the ground when he caught the ball in the throwback the first time.
And no, they do give him the touchdown, and man, that's going to be one on the highlight reel. What a job by the Hayes Rebels on that play.
Yeah.
And they take a commanding 27-7 lead, pending the extra point, which would make it 28.
Three
unanswered touchdowns here in the fourth quarter for Hayes.
Unbelievable. That's going to be another one. Man, we've had some just awesome plays here tonight, Brad, that are going to be exciting to go back and watch on video here.
A great play and well designed there by Hayes for an alumni game, too. You don't really expect all the tricks to come out and things of that nature.
Not at all.
And there you see the double throwback pass down to the end zone for the long score.
Little trickeration station tonight up here at Tiger Stadium. The wind still whipping out at about 13 miles an hour at the last check, and a while ago, whenever I looked, it was actually 47 degrees. And
I've got it at 44 on the old phone right here.
It's down to 44. You got it, man. And that wind is at 11, so you know the wind chill's good. The kick is up, and Schwartz has it. The extra point is good, and the Hayes Rebels score again on a nice double pass play. They lead this one 28-7 with 1:24 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, pretty much academic from here on out with such little time left to go in the game, but a good game nonetheless. And don't let the score fool you. If you're catching this game late for some reason, it has been a close game. It was for 3 quarters. Remember, when this game went from the third to the fourth quarter, the Tigers were leading Hayes 7-6, and Hayes here in the fourth quarter has really taken it to Dripping Springs, and 3 unanswered touchdowns have blown this game open to a 28-7 lead here in the last minute and a half of the ball game.
Yeah, it's been a fun one so far. Again, Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. This one tonight benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial Funds for Scholarships coach at Lake Travis as well as Dripping Springs. Again, Gridiron Glory is all about giving back, and tonight, what an honor it is to give this one in memory of Keith Tuck and the wonderful job that he's done and the wonderful job that he was and the legacy that he left through his life.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Also his daughter Brittany as well. We just learned of them today, actually, being up here, and it's just an honor to be part of it. The kick is up and away by Schwartz. This one's going to settle around the 20-yard line, and Dripping Springs here trying to run with it. They're going to pitch back to his man across the 20. Still on his feet, diving, slicing through a few defenders, spinning, and finally that was Clavon Highwood being brought down just outside of the 30-yard line. They're going to roll him down at the 32-yard line, I believe.
They did the old pitchback play to Dellaway there, as Dellaway, one of the faster guys they got on the club, it looks like for Dripping Springs.
I was reading the wrong I'm sorry, man.
No, that's all right. Dellaway, they tried the old Stanford band play, get it to their fastest guy's hands, throw some blocks out there as the kick wasn't deep enough to get to him.
Got a little frozen up here and didn't flip over my roster, so I apologize for that. I should have known better. And going off the field for the Hayes Rebels, number 34, Garrett Miles. And Hayes here playing smartly back in the secondary. Way back in the back is Cameron Pierce. We'll see if Drip here should pass with 1:15 to go. In shotgun, triplets down to the right, one receiver up top to the left. Steps back, passes in the flats to Davis. Still on his feet. Now it's going to be a pass of their own down the field, and that one is going to be intercepted at the 36-yard line by Chad Miles. That's his second interception tonight. A nice play designed by Dripping Springs, but wasn't well executed, unfortunately.
Well, he took it to the wrong target. You know, he threw it to the big man down there, Chase Harper, but he had Bryce Alarms alone on the near sideline. If he throws it to Alarms, who is about the same distance down the field there's no chance for Chad Miles to get over and make that interception. And Alarms, as soon as the play was intercepted, looked back at his man and threw his arms up and said, I was right here. And he's thinking, I've got the touchdown if you just throw it to me.
And so Hayes here with 103 should be able just to run the clock out. Got to wonder if they would dare try to score again. You don't know. Earlier they did. These guys are out here having fun. Saw a little grit early on here at the fourth quarter, but things have really settled down, and guys are getting along pretty well here. The officials doing a nice job of keeping this one good tonight. We've had a few injuries, a big injury early on to start with not even a minute or two into the game, and young man from Dripping Springs was taken off the field on a stretcher, but he was waving to everybody, so that was a good sign. And the other injuries we've seen tonight, everybody appears to be okay, thankfully. And Hayes here. They're going to try to run this one. The pitch back over to Klingenberg. Or beg your pardon, that's not Klingenberg. It's Hayes still on the outside. Still running around. It's Anthony Reyna. Reyna's still on his feet. He finally gets tripped up under his own power down to the 41-yard line. And Dripping Springs had a little extra push there on that run afterwards. The clock at 48 now in the ball game. 48 seconds to go.
Really nice run there by Reyna. That's the second time we've seen him get outside and flash the wheels. The other time, of course, was the run to the end zone that was called back earlier tonight from a 50-yarder.
Now the clock ticking again after the ball set. 35 seconds to go in the ball game. And now Hayes can just take a knee. They line up in a victory formation. Snap back and the first knee. And that should do it, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be enough to end the ball game.
Folks. Ball game is coming to an end.
19 seconds still ticking down here. Brad, this was a fun one.
Yeah, a really, really well-played game on both sides. It was a defensive struggle in the first half. 7-6 even at the end of the third quarter, but Hayes able to take it to Dripping Springs in the fourth quarter, getting that run game going, a few deep passes across the middle, and I'll tell you what, Peyton Pringle, a difference in this ball game tonight for Hayes. He had over 100 yards receiving, a couple of touchdowns, and a guy that you think might win an MVP award. They said I got told they're gonna, after they do the prayer here, just second post game, they're gonna announce who the MVP of tonight is. And if I had a vote, I think that's my vote right now. Is Peyton Pringle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is official now. The Hayes Rebels come here to Dripping Springs on Alumni game night and win this ball game 28-7. A lot of big plays on both sides of the field. You'll be able to check all those out. Of course, well, you're already checking them out because you're listening to us and watching the video. So be sure to share it with all your friends.
But
and
the good thing is you can check it out as much as you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. And be sure to share this one with all your friends tonight. We're going to go ahead and kind of quiet down, but we're going to turn up the PA mic. You've been listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here tonight, presented by SHN Sports. Again, you've been listening here to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. We're just leaving the video going here as the team is meeting at the middle of the field. At the end of the game, Hayes won this one 28-7. They're in the middle of a prayer right now. I believe there's going to be an MVP award, so we wanted to keep the video going here for you as well as the audio. So we're going to quiet back down again here and just enjoy the final moments of this one live tonight at Dripping Springs Tiger Stadium.
folks, we do have an MVP for the second annual Keith Tuck Memorial Football Game. We've got a consensus up here. Number 32, Chad Miles from the Hayes Rebels. Put your hands together for everybody out here tonight, folks. Thanks for coming out.
And again, you just heard Chad Miles got the game ball tonight. And again, thank you for listening in to this one. We're going to go ahead and finish it up here as the Hayes Rebels defeats the Dripping Springs Tigers in the Gridiron Glory Alumni Football Game 28-7. We'll catch you next time here on SHN Sports. This has been a fun one. For Brad Tillery, Rob Hipp, and all of us here at SHN Sports, we want to thank again our good friend, Mr. George Cox. And also, this one was benefiting the Keith Tuck Memorial tonight. Have a pleasant good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening.